Greetings, Divine Radiance. How are you today? I am Nahkila Isha of AshworthScott Life Sculpting. I'm a divine interpreter, psychic life coach, and mentor, assisting you with activating the divinity and wisdom within your soul. So, Tia Lynn, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. I'm glad you got the message. And I am going to log in so I can approve it. Because I know last time I asked you guys to do that, and it's like, oh yeah, I got to approve it. So thank you. Hi, Mimi. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so let's see. I am going on now. I just knew that the timing of it all for me to actually go on and post it, it wasn't happening. So thank you for doing that, Tia Lynn. Hi, Pat. How are you? How's everybody feeling today? The wind has been blowing so hard today. I had my session with Jillian and I decided to do it outside because although it's windy, it is still warm, right? But it was blowing so hard, like it pushed the door open. My curtains are usually pushed over. It closed the curtain. It's crazy. And during my healing, my wild woman came through. So it was pretty amazing because that's how the wind felt, like a wild woman. So I'm just going on to approve Tia Lynn's post. So let's see. Let's see. Oh wow, there's seven pending posts in that group. So welcome everyone. Hi Naya, welcome. Awesome, Pat. I'm so grateful to hear that. Hi Phoenix, how are you? Oh, okay. You had a major thunderstorm. Yeah, it feels really good, outside as far as it being warm, but the wind is pretty aggressive today. So, and Tia Lynn, I'm just gonna wait. I don't see your post yet, but let me know when you post it and then I'll approve it. Hi Roz, welcome back. So we're just gonna give a few more people an opportunity to get on. And you know what? I'm gonna start with the T message. Let's see. It says, you must have self-respect. Only then can you respect somebody. And this is so awesome because, literally someone said they love me. And I was thinking, you don't love you. You think you love me, but you don't. Right. And so this speaks to the same as self-respect. Like in order for us to give something, we must first possess it for self. So this is awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you're here. Let's see. I'm going to see if Tia Lynn shared the post yet. Yep. And she did. Awesome. Thank you so much, Tia Lynn. Now I'm going to get out of here. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So let's start with our breathing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull your card first, Tia Lynn, before we start with the breathing. Which deck would you like me to use for Tia Lynn? Okay. Okay, I'm being told to show you the card on the bottom before I pull for you. And it's the mirror card, right? But the mirror card, it came in reverse, but what Spirit is saying is no matter how you look at it, it's still right? It's still right. So what I'm being told to tell you is in relations to your move, right? No matter what route you take to get there, as long as you get there based on the guidance you're receiving, it's going to turn out right. So let's go ahead and pull your card. That was just, hey, Cheryl. Hey, Charmaine. That was just an additional message. Are you on? Are you back on, Tia Lynn, before I pull your card? Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So this is beautiful too, because as you start on a new adventure, right? As you start on a new adventure, sometimes it can feel like you're alone. And even when you have assistance from your partner or your soul family, in the flesh, it still can sometimes be lonely because those human beings can't take away that feeling of fear or that feeling of anxiety, right? But what Spirit is letting you know is, as long as you acknowledge and you call on and count on your divine spirit team, everything is flowing. I'm hearing in a way that serves and according to your highest good. So what you're being called to do right now is have faith, the ultimate faith. And what I'm receiving is after you pass this test of faith, your faith is going to skyrocket, right? It starts with each test that we have, each step that we take towards a deeper, unwavering faith. The more we step into it, the easier it becomes until it's just second nature, until it's just like, oh, I got this because spirit got me, right? So you're really being called to have faith. And I'm being told to you, just remember 11:11. Okay, thank you. So that is your message, Lynn. Hey, spiritual, welcome. It's been a while since you've been here. Welcome back. Yay. Hey, mom. Hey, mom. So now let's go ahead and get started with our breathing, okay? So for those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. And for those of you that come every week, thank you so much and welcome back. So each week we come live Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And we always start with the first card for the first person on, right? And then we do our breathing. Now at the end, I'll be doing mini readings for $20. So if you'd like to stay on for one, each question is $20. So you can get one question or two or three or however many, or you can ask for a general, okay? So let's just go ahead and inhale slow and deep through our nose. And when you're inhaling through your nose, I'd like you to breathe in love and light. Just allow yourself to visualize and feel love and light. And then as you exhale, exhale slowly out through your mouth. And I'd like you to just release all that's no longer serving you. Now, if there's something specific you'd like to focus on releasing, then focus on that as you're exhaling, okay? And while you're breathing, I will be sending Reiki to your heart chakra and your solar plexus, but because the energy is intelligent, it will flow wherever your soul calls for it to go, okay? So let's just go ahead, inhale slow and deep, love and light through your nose. And release all that's no longer serving you out through your mouth. And as you inhale, I'd like you to start your breath at your toes. And I'd like you to slowly bring your breath up, hitting every chakra as slow and deep as possible, attaching anything that's not serving you to that breath. And then when you reach your crown, I'd like you to just release through your exhale. And as you continue to breathe in love and light, I call on highest light guides, angels, ancestors, healers, teachers, wise ones, ascended masters, and helpful companions, all of light and love. I call on you now, and I thank you for filling this space. I thank you for using me as a vessel of highest light and love. And I thank you for opening the hearts, the minds, and the souls of those I'm called to serve today. May whatever message you bring serve their highest good as it serves their highest good to do so. I thank you, and so it is. So just go ahead and continue with your breathing. And as you breathe in love and light and exhale all that's not serving you, bring your attention to your crown chakra located at the top of your head, giving your crown chakra permission to open, opening your crown chakra now. And just allow yourself to feel the warm golden light of the divine source of highest light and love pour in through your crown, feeling that loving energy traveling down to your third eye, extending out to your ear chakras, traveling down to your throat, down to your heart, down to your solar plexus and your sacral, and down to your root chakra. And just allow that loving energy to continue to flow down your thighs, your knees, and your legs, traveling down to your ankles and your feet, feeling a tingling sensation at the soles of your feet as your soles grow roots, and allowing those roots to travel down to the core of Mother Earth, sending her love, light, healing, and gratitude energy. And then allowing yourself to connect to the heartbeat of Mother Earth, bringing that energy back up through those roots, up through the soles of your feet, up through your ankles, your legs, your knees, and your thighs, up to your root chakra, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart chakra, your throat, your ear chakras, your third eye, and up and out your crown. And just allow that divine, loving energy from Mother Earth to unite and dance with the energy of your highest source of light and love. And together, bringing that energy back in through your crown, setting the intention that this healing, loving energy will travel throughout your entire cellular being. With every inhale, you'll breathe in love and light, and with every exhale, throughout the rest of your day, you'll release all that's not serving you, allowing that energy to loosen and release all that's no longer serving you through every exhale. And so it is. And when you're ready, just go ahead and open your eyes. And I always ask you how you're feeling. And if you feel more relaxed than you did before, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. So far, we have 10 people on and 4 likes for the video. If you haven't liked it yet, please go ahead and do so. Let's get that mirror effect going. So let's see. Shamika said, hi, everyone, sending 11 light positive vibes. Hi, Shamika. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Oh, Taylor said, I love that deck so much. I'm glad. Okay, Spirit said, okay, get to it. So let's get to it. Okay, I'm being told to start with this deck, the Work Your Light Oracle deck. So what message do you have for us, Spirit? Highest light guides, angels, ancestors, teachers, wise ones, sit up masters, and helpful companions. What message do you have that is rooted in highest light, love, and truth that is going to serve the highest good of everyone watching? Ooh, live and on the replay. Pull from the bottom. All right. Ooh. This is good already in the top. Okay. I get so excited, you guys. I really do. And then I catch myself like, oh, I'm real hype right now. Okay, so what message do you have from this deck? Which one? Both? Okay. All right. The bottom. Let's see where Spirit is going with this. Let's see. Ross said, very comforting. Awesome. And just as quick as we did that grounding exercise at the bottom, you can do that yourself. We just literally did a really quick grounding exercise. And it's that easy, that simple to ground. For some, I'm being told to tell you grounding daily is something that serves your highest good to do. And you'll know if that's you. And it may not be like daily, indefinitely, right? But for some, Spirit is saying to ground daily in that one. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, Spirit says start there and we'll come back and get more. So the first card we have is, hi, Deidre, welcome. The first card we have is Awakening. And it says, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. And then listen, the second card is answer your call. And it says, what is your soul calling you to do, right? And then we got this card that came in reverse, and it says, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So Spirit is telling me to do these cards together, okay? So number one, what's happening right now, so many of us are awakening, right? Some of us, it is for the first time in this lifetime that we are choosing to expand our consciousness, right? We're choosing to connect deeper to our souls and to our true authentic selves on a soul level, right? And for some of us, we have been on our journey of awakening, the conscious journey of awakening. But what Spirit is saying is we're awakening to a new level, right? Now, this came up last week about the new level. Now, answering your call as you're awakening, Spirit is saying sometimes you can get stuck in the rut of, I'm hearing healing, right? But Spirit's like, let me explain. stuck in the rut of healing, focusing on, oh, I still have so much work to do. Oh, I still have all of this to do to be qualified to serve or to be qualified to answer the call. And Spirit is saying you are qualified now, right? Start seeing yourself as a servant of the light. Start seeing yourself as someone that pours into others, right? And Spirit is making it very clear that pouring into others is coming from your overflow, right? When you get to that point where you recognize and you understand that self-love, self-preservation is first, then that's when you're ready to begin serving. And the moment you acknowledge that as not being selfish, but being essential, Spirit is saying you're ready, right? You're ready. And then as you step into that calling, you can then go into, I'm hearing setting clear boundaries, structuring, determining, right? How serving serves your highest good. And it's coming through like how you like to serve, how you choose to serve. Now, the reason the don't dim to fit in is in reverse is because Spirit is saying as you elevate, sometimes it is very, I'm hearing essential and key for you to meet others where they are. Now, this isn't the same type of dimming that so many of us light workers have done before we healed because we were seeking acceptance or validation from outside sources, right? It's not the same. But sometimes when we are on our journey, but we're still working through certain things, the part of our ego that feels it necessary to be the brightest in the room, right? The tallest in the room, the loudest in the room. That part can sometimes turn a person off, right? But if we can learn to silently observe, right? Learn to be led by Spirit, right? I'm hearing when I move, you move, just like that, right? When we can learn to be that way and we can contain, right? Contain. It doesn't mean we're lessening it, but we're containing. We're dripping, right? Dripping. And what I'm saying is like, those water containers in like a guinea pig cage where it like drips, drip, drip, but the water's still there. That's how Spirit is saying that sometimes we're called to be. So allowing Spirit to guide you on how much of you to give and when, right? So when I first started this work, what people thought I was and I was offering was so not what they got, right? And they were blown away in a good way. They weren't expecting what they got. But Spirit said, if you present this way, it's too much, right? It's not gonna click, right? So as I elevated, those that I serve elevate, right? So now it's like, okay, now you're presenting different, right? You're presenting different. You're giving more of what you actually give before they actually receive. So it's about Spirit guiding you into knowing when and where and how much, right? So I'm being told to say, does that make sense? And then I'm like, I know it does. I know they're following. Yeah, it makes sense. But Spirit said to ask, does that make sense? So let's see what you all are saying. TLN said, that's a whole vibe I have been feeling. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation of being ready for service. Awesome. I'm so grateful because yes, ready for service. And it's so funny because when I was receiving that, understanding that you can't pour from an empty cup, your energy came into the whole scenario. So that's great that you resonated with that. TLN said, I just applied for a job at a warm line and I thought I wasn't qualified and held off on applying, but I felt so would be a light to those I talk with. Yes. Good morning, Ms. Shawn. Good morning. So we also have reach out. And I'm hearing reach out and touch somebody's hand. Okay, so you guys noticed the number 3. That had been a major number for us that we had received the past couple of weeks. 3. It's the Ascended Masters letting us know that they're there. And notice the color yellow, right? And the color red. So if you notice the guides, the Ascended Masters, those hands, right? It represents that helping hand. It represents variety. It represents stepping stones, uplifting you, carrying you when you can't carry yourself, right? And getting grounded, right? The message came through for some. It's about getting grounded every day until Spirit guides you not to. But by being grounded in this knowing that I am connected as above, so below. I am connected to heaven, but I am also connected to earth. It empowers you, right? And notice how she's just kind of sitting there. It's almost coming through like she's sitting on a charger, right? She's recharging her battery. So this message came through before that. Spirit is calling us to take a break. Slow down and take a break. Be still and allow your guides to pour into you. What I'm feeling is, for some, it is a very prominent feeling of disarray, right? Disarray. And what Spirit is saying is that's because your system is on overload, right? Systems on overload. But for some of us, we aren't feeling the disarray because we're so used to managing, right? Managing our energy, right? We're so used to managing our energy. But what Spirit is saying is it's time for us to empty ourselves so we can be filled up again, right? As opposed to rearranging the energy, right? So like it's coming through like those of us that are used to managing, like say we feel stress or we feel fear or we feel anxiety, and we transmute that to confidence and peace and, you know, all of these energies that serve our highest good. Well, we're still filled to the brim and we're just playing musical chairs with our energy. So Spirit is saying it's time to empty and allow us to be recharged, right? Recharge and be filled with this newfound knowledge, this newfound energy, this newfound vibration that we're now called to experience in the next step, the next phase, right? And then we have helpless and hopeless. I'm hearing the world may seem barren at times, but you are not helpless. You are not hopeless. Even in the midst of your journey, when you feel like all hope is lost, know that there is always hope as long as you have belief, right? As long as you have belief. Belief is stronger than hope. Choosing is stronger than hoping. Being is stronger than becoming. Allow yourself to speak your truth, the truth that resonates with your soul, even when it's not the popular opinion, even when no one understands or no one agrees. You're being called to stand firm and be solid on what it is you know to be truth, you know to be facts. Allowing the sun to rise on your darkest of nights and seeing the beauty in the night. Night has a purpose too. And I'm hearing flowers can't bloom without both. Okay, Spirit said that's it for that card. So let's see what y'all are saying. Allie said, I pulled so many 3 tarot cards last night. That is so awesome. Yes, the 3s have been coming through quite a bit for us lately. Like they're letting us know as we're transitioning and we're going into this next phase, or even while we're vibrating in the energy that we're in right now, we are still supported. We are still abundant, right? This is where that our belief is stronger than hope. So, you know, I've heard a lot of people talk about how things are slowing down for them right now, and things are not doing that for me. Things are speeding up right now, but it has nothing to do with what's going on outside of me. It has everything to do with what's going on within. And so Spirit is telling you, when you can believe within, with every fiber of your being, that I am forever abundant because I choose to be, mind, body, and soul. I receive positive abundance in all areas of my life at all times, then that is what you will receive. And the masters, the ascended masters are saying, we are here. And as we have this number 8, like you are an infinite being. This came up last week. You are an infinite being. The possibilities are limitless. The support is limitless. The only limits that we experience are the limits that we place on ourselves, on our own experiences, on our own lives. That's it. That's it. And the beautiful thing about that is if your limitations are created by you, then you have the ability to remove all limitations. Literally, there is nothing that we cannot do, cannot achieve, cannot create. I'm hearing this is a message that must be driven home because still so many are not connected to that energy of abundance, of flow, of blessings, of bliss. You no longer have to struggle, right? You're beyond the struggle. It's now time for you to show what the struggle has been for, right? What has that struggle been for? You know, what has it been for? I know what my struggle was for. My struggle was so that my soul could evolve And then I could answer the call and I could help other souls evolve, right? Other souls that have helped me in past lifetimes evolve. Now it's my time to pay it forward and help those souls evolve. It's all about evolution. And look at what we got next. We have undying love. Undying love. And it says, the love you have shared eternal. The love you have shared is eternal, regardless of the situation. And this speaks to what we were just saying, right? So everything that is high vibrational, or everything that serves our highest good, it's love. That's really all there is. There's either love or there's no love, right? Everything else, it's a byproduct of one or the other. And so what Spirit is telling you, as we're talking about that abundance being infinite, right? Those blessings being infinite, that limitless potential and possibility, Spirit is saying, look at it as love, right? When you think in terms of how does the divine love you, right? The divine does not love you with conditions. So if you connect to the fact that I am a child of God, right? I am a reflection of God, right? Well, then what'll happen is you'll understand that just like this love is infinite, so are my blessings. And you mean all I got to do is just be, and I'm going to be blessed? That's easy, right? Just be and believe. That's easy. Okay, got it, right? So Spirit is reminding you that love, it's unconditional. It's undying. It doesn't go anywhere, right? Doesn't matter what the world is doing or what Sally Sue or Joe Blow is doing. It's unconditional and it does not die, right? Okay. I heard, that's right, Nahkila, tell him. And they said, Soldier Boy, tell him. It's funny. Okay. Oh, and look, we got unconditional love. Can we just drive it home? So what it says is love yourself, others in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. Yeah, Spirit's like, let's drive it home. Let's drive it home. Unconditional love, right? And so here's the other thing that's coming through. We're being called to see ourselves how the divine sees us, right? And when we can see ourselves as the divine sees us, we can then begin to see everyone else in that same way. And as I was looking at this card, and we're talking about emptying ourselves so we can be filled again, and you notice that we're just going to call it a cup. It's empty, right? But she's holding it like, fill me up. And she's excited about it. She's excited. She's like, okay, let's do this. I'm ready, right? And so this is, everyone that I talked to, you know, for those of you that were on last week, I shared that starting on the 1st, for 7 days, I'm going on a sabbatical, right? And I'm so shocked that I'm so excited because it involves no food. And I'm such a foodie, but I am. It's no food, no TV, no phone, no social media, no serving, just me and Spirit, right? And so I'm feeling like this, like, okay, let's empty it all out and fill me up. I'm ready, you know? And so Spirit is saying that as we give our love to others, it's important that we take time to receive, right? It's important that we take time to receive. And it's coming through in so many ways. And as I'm receiving this message, I notice I'm rubbing my solar plexus, right? And so what Spirit is saying, by doing this, we are empowering ourselves even more. So it's not just important to receive from the divine, because as light workers, we're so used to giving that sometimes we don't often allow others to give to us, right? And what Spirit is saying is also in the 3D, allowing others to give to you, allowing others to pour into you, right? Allowing others to be blessed by the ways that come from giving. So, okay, I'm being told to tell you it's time for you to be power hungry. But the reason I laughed is because, of course, it's not coming through how we first think of power hungry, right? What Spirit is saying is to have this hunger, right, for the things that empower you, right? That self-love is something that empowers you. That trust and faith and unwavering belief that the divine has you, right, empowers you. That not being afraid to share who and what you are with those that are seeking elevation, right? Empowers you. So Spirit is saying, be hungry for that. When you think in terms of like, you hear a lot of people talking about their journey, like most often where I've heard it is like celebrities, right? They're talking about that hunger, how they had that hunger, right? And so a lot of successful people, they never lose that hunger. And Spirit is telling us to never lose that hunger for the things that empower us, for elevating, for learning, for growing, and for evolving, right? Because as long as we're breathing, we're always in that state of evolution. We're always in that state of growth, right? We never stop growing. We're always the student and the teacher at the same time. So continue to be hungry, continue to elevate. And what I'm receiving is, as we continue to be in that vibration, it's almost like at first we're climbing, right? We're climbing, we're stepping, then we're stepping, right? The climb is a little more strenuous. Then we start stepping, right? And then it's like we're just elevating, we're levitating, right? We're still, it becomes easier and easier. And then it's almost like what I'm saying is like, just this energy, right? Just floating up, and there's no effort at all, and just this freedom. And that's how it becomes. We never stop elevating, but the process of elevation becomes easier and easier. So let's see what you're saying. Let's see. Ooh, I've been missing quite a bit. Mashawn said that resonates with me. I just took a 30-day leave from work. Awesome. Ooh, I can't wait to know how you spend it and how you connect. Out of that 30 days, take at least 2 to 3 days of canceling out everything and just being one with Spirit. Take at least 2 to 3. Allie said, OMG, I was just telling a friend about speaking my truth, even though it might not be accepted. Yes, because you guys have heard that cliche, oh, if you don't fit in, it's because you were born to stand out, right? It sounds like that, like to me, like, like, duh. But literally, Spirit is saying it's true. We weren't born to fit in, because we were born to not only stand out, but we were born to create change, right? And no one really likes change when we're thinking of a collective. Of course, there's a few of us that welcome change with excitement and gratitude, but the majority of us, everyone gets kind of settled in, and nobody really likes change, right? So if you're bringing a new idea, a new concept, a new truth, then people are going to be like, yeah, no, I'd rather be real comfortable in my discomfort. Thank you very much, right? But we're not meant to just fall in line, right? We're meant to create new lanes and new paths and new roads. So it makes sense that you're getting that message. Hey, Dynell, good afternoon, good morning. It's morning for you, afternoon for me. Pat said, hello, Mashawn, that's awesome. Good for you, sis. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome. Mashawn said, thanks, Pat. It was spirit guided. Yes. And it's so good that you followed that guidance, right? You weren't in a place of lack or doubt. You were just like, all right, Spirit, you guide me. I'm doing it. Let's see. Pat said, oh, wow. Unconditional love is the theme of the day, right? It is. It is. And as I'm reading your message, what Spirit is saying is to ask everyone, how have you been loving yourself unconditionally lately? And the first thing that comes to mind, without thinking about it, tell me in the comments, how have you been loving yourself unconditionally lately? I'm going to tell you, for me, it's been getting in bed earlier. At first I had a bedtime of 11:30, right? At first I was doing so good with that bedtime. And then it's like I went through this period where I was getting in bed at like 4, 5, and my body still wakes up early. So if I get in bed at 5, the latest I'm sleeping is 8, 8:15, right? And so I could feel like my energy, it's like I had this tired that I could not shake, and then I was just like, you know what, I'm releasing that. I'm loving me, I'm getting in bed on time. And I've been doing it. So that's how I've been doing it. It's simple, but it's a part of self-love, right? I was looking older. I was feeling older. I wasn't able to serve to the highest of my capacity being tired. So how have you been loving yourself unconditionally lately? Tia Lynn said, are you going to be drinking a specific type of tea? You know what? I did get a detox tea, but I am going to still drink this is a turmeric tea, and I have a peppermint tea in here. So I'm still going to drink those teas too, but I am going to drink a detox tea. And also horsetail. Jillian, during our session today, was telling me that it was coming through to cleanse from heavy metals, and horsetail is an herb that helps with that. So I'm getting some of that, and I'll be incorporating that too. And for those of you that don't know, Jillian is the energy healer on the AshworthScott Life Sculpting team. Her link and Hobby's links and my links are all in the description box. So if you're ever interested in scheduling with any of us, you can check those links and schedule that way. But every Wednesday, for the most part, every Wednesday, we meet up and have a healing session. I'm always like, why do I do it before Empower Hour? Because all I like to do is sleep after. But yeah, Pat said, wow, Nahkila, that's going to be a transformative experience for you. I can just sense it. I know, me too. And I've been like, I think I just may travel to the mountains while I'm doing it. I may just go up there and really meditate and connect. Like sometimes when I stand on the patio and I look at the mountains, like literally I can hear them calling me. Like literally, I kid you not. Yesterday I was out there and they were like, yep, come, we're going to connect. There's so much. And I started to receive that I spent a past life, right? A past life in those mountains, like centuries and centuries ago. But this is partially why they've been calling me. And there's some ancestral connections that are going to happen there. So let's see, what's our next card? Oh, look, you guys. So Spirit is giving us messages before we get to the card, because what did we get? Giving and receiving. We were receiving that already, giving and receiving. And here it is again. So, look at this. So Spirit is saying, look at the picture. So although we received the message, Spirit is like, let's do a graph to show you. So you see how every light worker is carrying their light, right? And each hand has a different color that represents a different strength, right? A different strength. And when you bring those hands together, they create, can you see that center point where they're all, look at how Spirit just did that for us, where it all just comes in and it pours into the greater good, right? It pours into the collective. But then from that center source, look how it looks like a flower. It's coming back out and it's serving the giver, right? But in order to receive all of this good energy, right? This balanced energy, this give and take energy, you had to be giving and open to receive, right? Open to receive. So Spirit is just showing us this is what giving and receiving does. It creates blessings for everyone, including self. If we're only giving, then we're cutting our blessings and their blessings short. And if we're only receiving, the same. So giving and receiving is so important right now. And Spirit is saying, and it's not just in the context of money. It's not just that. In fact, it's not even about that. I just heard it's not even really about that. It's more about the energy exchanges centered around love, centered around light, centered around knowledge and wisdom, right? Because knowledge and wisdom are not the same, right? They're not the same. Knowledge are things that you learn from books. Wisdom is that part of you that's connected to the infinite source, right? So they're not the same, but Spirit is saying that's more of what it is, right? Being a listening ear, right? Being a voice of reason, being a shoulder, right? Those things is what Spirit is saying. Okay, I'm also receiving being the one that stands up and says, hey, cut the negativity. And it was coming through like social media, right? There's a lot of social media negative or low vibrating energy floating around, right? And a lot of people will say, oh, I'm disconnecting because it's too much. And Spirit is saying, if you've had that experience, it's because you're meant to say, hey, before I disconnect, I like to tell you why. The reason why is because social media has become too much, and then pinpoint how and why, and then give a solution. The way that we can combat this, where we keep the morale up, is, and then give whatever Spirit gives you to give. But right now you're in a space where you're sensitive, right? And you're more in tune with your feelings. So you may say, I'm backing down because it's too much, where someone else may just feel that low vibrating energy and not really know why they're feeling it, because this is their norm and they're caught up in that low vibrating energy. So this is where you stand up. You answer the call, right? You don't dim your light, and you say, hey, this energy, it's affecting us as a collective, right? This is how it's affecting us. But if we did more of this, this is how we'd be affected. So, okay. So I'm being told to go to these two cards next, and Spirit is saying to share these together. So we have blessings and we have help. And then Spirit is saying to say it like this. We also have help and we have blessings. So what blessing says is count your blessings. A grateful heart attracts more joy, love, and prosperity. and ask for help. Receiving is an act of generosity. So let's just go here first, because this is something that has come up quite a bit today, right? Receiving is an act of generosity. Let's just let that sink in for a minute. I'm being told to tell you, you're not just called to receive from the divine. You're called to receive from the earth angels that the divine placed in your path. And I'm being told to share with you a story. It used to be so hard for me to receive. Oh my goodness. If someone gave me something, I always felt like I'm going to give them something now, right? I could never just receive. Even if I was constantly giving to them, the moment they gave me something, I felt like, okay, now I'm going to give them something, you know? And what I learned was just say thank you. Like, you're worthy to receive. When I first started my journey and before my journey, if someone would compliment me or say nice things, it would make me tear up, you know, like when I was around other light workers, it would make me really emotional, right? Because there was a part of me that felt deprived of receiving that, because throughout life, I hadn't received it. And because I wasn't filling myself up with that, it was overwhelming to receive such love, right? It was overwhelming. So when a person gave to me, it was difficult to accept the love. And I felt like, well, I got to love you, you know? So Spirit is saying for us to allow ourselves to receive the love that we deserve. And the way we become more equipped to receive it is by giving it to self, right? Now, here's the funny story. So when I had the second cervical spine surgery, what ended up happening was I still had spiritual happy hour. It was an event that I hosted locally in Washington State when I was still there. And so I had someone else that I was working with. I was like, okay, you're gonna be the one that's really like doing it. You know, this is your time to do it. And so we ended up painting rocks, and Spirit said, okay, have everyone choose a word that Spirit led that the other person's soul could use. And so we painted rocks based on what those words were. And it was so bad, like I couldn't even squeeze the paint out of the container. Like, that's how bad it was. So literally, in order for me to participate, people had to squeeze paint out for me. And it was like so awkward, because they're like, oh, can I help you? And part of me was saying, I could do it. And then Spirit was like, no, you can't. Just say yes and say thank you. That's it. Yes and thank you. Not thinking about ways to give back, you know, just accept it. That was the first turnaround for me when it came to me being able to receive. And I realized what Spirit was doing, because Spirit didn't tell me to cancel, right? Spirit was putting me in a position where I had no choice but to receive, right? So, and it was a choice because I chose to experience it, right? I had said, I'm choosing to strengthen this aspect of myself because I know it serves my highest good to do so. And this was how Spirit had it happen. So if you're someone that has a difficult time receiving, it's about evaluating, why is that, right? Oftentimes the word worthiness comes up, right? The word worthiness comes up. Or how do we feel valuable, right? We feel valuable, some of us, when we're doing for others, as opposed to realizing I'm valuable just because I am. I'm valuable because I'm me, right? Whether I just sit here like a lump on the log or whether I serve, I'm valuable. So evaluate. If you are someone that's struggling with that or overcoming that, evaluate why it's a part of who you are right now. Let's see what you're saying. Let's see. Hey, Javi. Hey, Shanna. Pat said, oh, okay, I read that. Pat said it keeps going back to self-love. It does. Danielle said, I've been guilty of not being open to receiving in the past. It feels good to be poured into. Thank you for the reminder. It does. And when I think of times I've been poured into, you're in that equation, right? Because we connected through our soul family that was local in Washington State. And it was always a beautiful exchange, right, of giving and receiving. So it does feel good. It feels really good. Excuse me. Also, one of the things that's coming through too is something that our mentor, Donna, said to me when I was experiencing some things. And Donna said, you don't have to go through this alone. Like, reach out, you know? And oftentimes as light workers, what we do is we go through things alone, right? A lot of us are used to being independent, and we will figure it out and then we'll share. And I remember way back. I don't even know how long ago. Javi, you may remember this. I was having a reading with Javi, and Javi received the message for me to be more transparent, right? And I'm thinking, transparent, I'm as real as they come. And then it became very clear what that was. It was exactly what Donna was saying, right? So when I'm going through something in my personal life and in my professional life, I handle it the same. I'll get through it, figure it out, then I'll share, right? So just like my mentor was like, you don't have to go through it alone. Spirit is saying, and when you're going through it, share it while you're in the midst of it, right? Allow people to see the steps, the phases, because then when they can see you go through it, it's much different than saying, well, this is what I just went through, and this is how I overcame it, right? You guys can see me in the midst. And then if you see it, it's like, oh, that's easy. If she could do it, I could do it, right? So that was a very strong message that came through that is still relating to give and take, allowing, and even as I'm saying, that Spirit is saying, as you allow others to witness you going through it, you're allowing them to hold space for you, right? And holding space is the giving of energy. It's the giving of love. There was a time where if someone said they were going through something or they were sick, or I would always ask our groups, like, let's send prayers and love and light to whomever. And I would never ask for myself or for my family. And then it got to the point, it's like, hey, I'm deserving of those prayers and that love and light too, So yeah, holding space, giving and receiving. So Mashawn said, yes, Spirit, I'm hungry. Pat said, allowing others to give to me is an area that would be in my highest good to evolve in. I'm ready to expend my capacity to receive. Yes, and so it is. And I love all the abundance language. Deidre said, but the energetic pushback can be upsetting. It can be. It can be when we are not detached witnesses, right? So this is another thing that I learned over the course of my working with Donna, is being a detached witness. So what does that mean? That means that I do what I'm guided by Spirit to do. And I have this overall energy of desire that everyone is to elevate and find their purpose and experience bliss, peace, love, happiness, and all the good things that I feel inside, right? But being a detached witness means I do what Spirit guides me to do, but I'm not attached to the outcome either way, right? So if a person takes the messages I receive from Spirit and give to them, and they do it and they thrive, that's amazing. It's beautiful. But if they don't, that's amazing. That's beautiful, because that too is a part of their journey, right? So when we can practice being that detached witness, that energetic pushback doesn't affect us in the same way, right? It doesn't affect us in the same way. And I will say, the closer you are to an individual, the more difficult it is, right? I have someone really close to me that has decided to make a decision that is very detrimental pertaining to their life. And I've received messages from Spirit. I've shared it with them. They're consciously aware that this is not the best choice for them, but they're still making the choice, right? And I had a day where I was afraid for them. I was sad for them. I was disappointed. But then I was like, you know what? This is a part of their journey, right? All I can do is give the messages and then let it go. Give the messages and let it go. And that allows me to still show up from that place of love and support, right? That place of love and support. And just pray and send energy, right? That's all I can do. And that's how we're called to be with everything. Just give what we receive, and then just stand back and allow them to experience their journey as their soul agreed to. So, hey, Alatha said, I've been really counting my blessings and showing gratitude. So awesome. Yeah. Pat said, I've been loving myself by saying no to requests for my time. It's small, but it's major for me. That's huge. That is huge, because how many of us don't do that? It's not small at all. It's major for everyone, That's a big deal. So that's good. So the Spirit says, stop discounting yourself. Stop discounting yourself. Give yourself credit where credit is due. I'm rubbing my chin like I got chin hairs, huh? Allie said, not judging what arises in me, observing instead of reacting. So good. So good. As a reformed overthinker, sometimes it pops up a little bit, right? It's so funny though, because when it's happening and I don't recognize it right away, my mom was like, "You're just overthinking." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." And then sometimes I'll be like, "Okay, wait, no, I'm overthinking. Let me let it go." Right. But before it was huge, like that self-judgment. Right. And I always said I'm my own worst critic. Right. It was weird because other people's opinions didn't matter so much, but that opinion I had of myself, oh my goodness, it was horrible, right? But when I started to see myself as the divine sees me and fall in love with my soul, right, and understand that I can't make a mistake. It's either a lesson or an immediate blessing. That's it, right? It makes a difference. So, Danielle said, loving self unconditionally looks like sleeping extra when my body needs it and playing my Tibetan singing bowls, gong, and meditation as much as I want. That's so awesome. Cancel, delete, need, and want though. Just release all that, as much as it serves your highest good and as much as you choose. That's awesome. Awesome. Speaking of your Tibetan bowls, I haven't played mine in a while, but my drum, man, Jillian told me about my drum a while ago, and I got it out and I played it a bit, and then I put it back in the closet, and I'm being led to bring it out. And if I go to the mountains, I'm going to bring it with me, because as you're saying that, like, my soul is connecting. It's like I'm feeling like that drum is like the heartbeat of Mother Earth. So I'm definitely going to pull it out. So thank you for that reminder. My mom said, I go to the lake daily. I feel a great peace when I'm there. I love getting vitamin D. I love getting vitamin D too. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. But anyways, Mom, I was thinking about you today with the lake. Take me with you. Let's go today after Empower Hour. Mashawn said, being obsessively grateful for everything in my life, I let go of a lot of grief and guilt. Awesome. Amazing. What I was being told to tell you is amazing because you are worthy of that freedom. You're worthy of that freedom. Deidre said, all of a sudden, there's no cravings for meat. Fruits, grains, and vegetables satisfy my appetite. And wait, it just jumped up a bunch. And chocolate covered coconut. Oh, that sounds good. So what I'd like to ask you is, what things did you say to Spirit that you were choosing for yourself? Because what I found is, over the course of stating, I am so grateful that I am the best version or the highest version of myself, right? And so over the years, there's certain things that just fell off. Meat, the craving for meat was one of them. Like it just, like you just described, it just went away. And I realized it was because by me eating meat, it was keeping me from elevating to the highest version of myself because it was keeping my vibration lower. So I'd like to know, what types of things did you say to Spirit centered around what you were choosing to be or do, and see how it relates to the fact that that craving just gone, right? See how that relates. So I'm going to give you the next card, and then I'm going to read the rest of the comments. So look what we have, you guys. We have Goddess Callie. We have Goddess Callie, and it says, endings and beginnings. The old must be released so the new can enter. So what old are you holding on to? What old are you holding on to? Without you thinking about it or analyzing it, let Spirit tell you, because it may be different than what you think it is. So just ask your soul, connect to your soul, ask Spirit, what old am I holding on to that serves my highest good to release? And when you receive, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. Let's see. Pat said, Deidre, that's awesome. Vanessa said, I'm hopefully breaking through that right now. Well, cancel, hopefully you're choosing to. I'm choosing to break through that right now. It's always a choice, right? It's a choice, and you're in control. So whatever you choose, Spirit will guide you into how to make it so. So awesome. Vanessa said, getting better at discerning without fear and overthinking and learning to receive more easily. And so it is. Hey, TK. TK said, I have to learn this. Well, it serves your highest good to learn it. We always have a choice. Oh, Javi said, Javi loves your African rum punch, your username. Javi said, I remember this. Yes, it was an amazing reading. Amazing reading. Deidre said, it happened for me. I went grocery shopping and realized I didn't pick out any meats. It wasn't intentional, but focusing on accepting myself. And so it is. Lady Love, my mom says, when I was younger, if I was told I was beautiful, I felt horrible. I did not feel deserving, and I did not want to be the center of attention. Well, cancel the want, Mom. But yeah. And it's so amazing, the woman I see now versus the woman I saw when I was a little girl. It's amazing. Phoenix says, self-love. Love me some me. The journey to self-love is one that is so invigorating, and there are more levels, layers than an onion. Yes, exactly. Let's see. Michonne said, I'm getting better at explaining how the negativity affects me rather than just cut them out off. Good. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, for me, it's the opposite, right? Oh, I was the cutoff queen. And I didn't just walk away. I told you about yourself, right? And I gave it to you good. And then I cut you off. So oftentimes that was ego, right? That was ego. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to let you know about yourself. Now it's like, okay, spirit, guide me, right? And if spirit says, don't say anything, just let it be, then that's what I do. And if spirit says, okay, say something, then that's what I do, right? So it was the opposite for me. But either way, it's great. It's great because you're allowing yourself to operate more from a place of soul, right? More from a place of soul as opposed to ego, right? As opposed to ego, because our egos can do the opposite. Mine was, let me tell you about yourself, and yours was just like, let me just be out, right? I'm being told to tell you, continue to allow yourself to be guided. And Shamika said, I'm guilty of that. Well, you're not guilty, my beautiful sister. You're not guilty of nothing. Let's see. Spiritual said, I'm a loner that likes to be alone and also don't like to be alone. I don't know what that's about. Any thoughts? Well, here's the thing. That's typical for a lot of light workers, right? And it goes back to that pouring in, right? Pouring into ourselves, emptying out and pouring in, recharging, resetting. So on top of being a light worker, I'm a Pisces, and that's something Pisces do too. So totally relating to that, I like to be alone, but then there's times I don't like to be alone, you know? I like to be alone more often than not, but I have those moments where I'd rather not be alone. So it's normal. It's normal. When you can find that balance of taking not just time alone, but having productive time alone, right? Where you're emptying out yourself and you're receiving new information, new guidance, I'm hearing new self-love codes, right? Then you'll be more open to receiving that time that's spent with others, right? And then that time will also be more productive because you'll be attracting different people to spend your time with. So, yeah. Deidre said, yes, I see. Pat said, I realized my old beliefs about it's better to give than receive from my religious upbringing is the underlying thought behind my thoughts on receiving. Yeah. And you know, again, I always say, consider the source, right? Consider the source. Consider the source. What I see is like, Sundays, you know, like slaves having church on Sundays and the things that, the slaves that acted as ministers were told to teach, or how they were told to interpret certain stories from the Bible, right? Right? So when we consider the source and how we were taught to interpret certain things, it helps us to really break down the true meanings, right? The true meanings, and release the meanings that don't serve our highest good. Because if we think about all of our teachings, those of us that were raised in the church, if we really think about it, a lot of what we were taught, it disempowers, right? It teaches us that I'm hearing we're not self-sufficient, worthy, or capable of connecting to the divine, right? We must have a middleman, right? Someone that's greater than ourselves, right? Whereas when we are connected to our true spirituality, we know that there is no someone that's greater than ourselves. We can go directly to source, right? So, yeah. Michonne said, I can't wait for my sound bowl to come. Awesome. You please go live and play. Go live and play. Michonne said, right. Absolutely. I'm happy with giving love and light. I've come to terms with not having attachment to rather they receive it or not. Yes. Dynelle said, do it. I've been drumming. Has it more to it? Feels good. I was about to say, how does it feel? And then I saw where you told me. I will. I will. Michelle said that card is beautiful. Oh, the Cali card. Yes, I love this card. I love it. And I like how they depict her in this card because oftentimes when you see Goddess Cali, you see the warrior in her, right? You see the blood and and it gives a misconception of what Goddess Cali represents. It'll turn some people off, but this is a really beautiful depiction of her. And it's still like we can still see her strength. We can still see her strength, right? But her love just shows up as strong and powerful, right? As opposed to vicious. So it's beautiful. Lynn said, lack of potential possibilities. Ooh, drum circles are so healing. Yes, yes, yes. Alata said, hey, African rum punch. My mom said, I'm looking forward to starting my cleanse on Monday. I'm grateful for the person I am today. And so it is. Spiritual said, wow, I'm loving this live. You ladies are amazing. My soul is getting fed. Thank you all. I am so grateful that you joined us. You are often on my mind. And, here's the thing. I can always feel when it serves someone's highest good to reconnect, but I don't reach out till spirit tells me to, right? I don't make connections until I'm guided to make sure it's not coming from me, right? Or I'm not sharing before you're ready to receive. So I'm glad that you're reconnected and stay connected. Stay connected. Alata said, that's me now, Nahkila. I definitely don't hold my tongue. Now I realize some energy I'll never address. Exactly, exactly. For me, the holding of my tongue is growth. It's growth. Alata said, we are reflections of you, spiritual. Yes, and so it is. Spiritual said, Lady Love, everything you're saying resonates with me so much. I'm tearing up typing this. I'm also starting my fast Monday. Awesome. And you guys, you know what? It's May, right? So I'm going to pull a few more cards for us as a collective too, but we're just kind of chatting and it feels good. So let's flow with it. So, okay, that's what it was. Thank you. Okay, so I cooked the other night, right? And my mom and yesterday, I cooked. And my mom and I, we do like, if I don't cook, she'll send me food and vice versa. So it was my time to be Uber Eats last night. So I dropped her food off and I was just sitting in the car because I was actually really tired and I didn't even feel like walking up the stairs. So maybe I was in the car for like an hour. So when she was heating up, well, I heated it up for her when I sent it to her. But I was like, okay, Mom, go ahead and taste it. I'd like you to taste it with me on the phone. So her reaction, I was like, let me record this. I was recording with Snap because, we do the cooking videos together. And I'm like, yeah, people probably think she's just putting on for the camera, but she's not. But the thing is, when you're on the phone, apparently Snap doesn't record voice. It just records visual. So anyways, as I shared that, although the sound didn't come through, the whole Meatless May, I don't know how many of you remember last year we did the Meatless May challenge. So it was like, oh, that's why I didn't remove the post on Facebook, because Spirit was like, the point is the Meatless May. I share these things to say, if I can be vegan, anyone can, because I am a foodie. And I say that because if the food does not taste good, I probably wouldn't be a vegan, right? So you can enjoy food and still be plant-based if that's where your soul is guiding you to be. Now, if you're not being guided, then this isn't for you. But if you are, if you're guided to raise your elevation through the food you eat as well, let's do the Meatless May challenge again. We did it last year, and I shared a bunch of videos in the United Light Beings Awakening group to help you on that journey. And I'm also now posting videos of cooking vegan meals. And Michonne is now vegan and shares her stuff. So let's do it. Those of you that are on board for Meatless May, let's do it. I know Spiritual, I know you're vegan. Or are you still vegan? I know you were when we were connecting before. So yeah, those of us that are vegan, let's commit to sharing recipes and the United Light Beings Awakening group for those that are not vegan, that are choosing to take on the Meatless May challenge. Deidre said, I just thumbed up. Oh, thank you. This spiritual snacking is sustaining. I'm so grateful. I love the grace of the spirits of these participants. I know, it's amazing. It's amazing. That's why when we're on, Ganesh, okay. That's when we're on, it's like, I'm having fun, like I have fun This is not work. This is fun. It's fun. So, Cheryl said, I question a lot of things in the Bible. Yeah, and it's good, you know, and those of us that are awakening, it's not to say like, oh, turn your backs on the Bible if you feel led to still read the Bible. But now that you are connecting with, ooh, thank you. And that one, now that you're connecting with spirit, you are going to receive the messages in a much different energy. And look, you guys, remember this? It's still on my desk and spirit just flipped it. Can you see it? It says your potential self, is infinite. Your potential self is infinite. So I'm going to clear these cards so that we have clear space to get these new messages. Let's see. We got a lot of cards up here today from a lot of different decks. Usually I only have like 3 decks at the most that I bring. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decks today. The spirit was like, grab them. Okay, so, ooh, look at what we have. Ooh, and look, there's that number 3 again. We have determination. And look, that message of grounding coming through strong to empower us. And how many of you looked up what Ganesh represents, his visual? How many of you guys did that? I know we got that last week. And then we have openness. Spirit is saying again, your openness to receive. Also, I'm hearing your openness to be guided and to guide, your openness to guide and be guided. And it came in both ways. And Spirit is saying the reason why it came in both ways is because sometimes you're going to be guided more than you guide. And other times you are going to guide more than you're guided. Now, when you're guiding more than you're guided, it's coming through as in this physical realm, right? But as it's shifting in the roles are reversing, you will always be guided by your divine spirit team if you allow it. So I'm hearing deep meditation, deep contemplation, allowing yourself. Some of you may be at a point where you are making major life decisions. I feel a lot of movement happening right now. Energetically, there's a lot of movement happening. And it feels like 2 things. It feels really peaceful, right? And that peaceful feeling is the outcome. But then I'm also feeling anxiety is what it feels like. But that anxiety doesn't feel strong, right? It just feels like fear of change, right? So Spirit is saying be open to welcoming in the new. Be open to experiencing change. Be open to allowing yourself to get shaken up, right? Shaken up out of your comfort zone, right? Out of your comfort zone into the newness of the blessings and the bliss awaiting you. Now, the reason why I'm kind of chuckling is because as that was coming through, it was coming through like me and sleeping, right? So I like to have weight on me when I sleep, right? So like comforter is pretty heavy. But when it's hot, I don't necessarily like a comforter because I'm hot, but I like the weight. I like the weight of the comforter more than just the weight of the sheet, right? And so what was coming through is when I keep that comforter on, I'm uncomfortable because I'm hot, right? And so Spirit was kind of using that as the same, right? It's like, okay, well, this is comfortable because it's what I'm used to, how I'm used to sleeping, but it's actually more comfortable at certain times to go outside of my norm and experience a different experience, right? And so that's how it's coming through, like allowing yourself to step outside of your norm so that you can be experiencing a new comfort on a different level, right? I'm hearing change is good. Change feeds the soul. And Spirit is saying growth is optional. Things are always going to change. The only thing constant is change, but the growth is optional, right? Choose growth. Choose growth. Let's see what you're saying. Michonne said, yes, I just posted about my vegan journey. Pat said, great idea, Nahkila. I just told my son we're going to go vegan or vegetarian after reading about all the meat plants closing due to coronavirus outbreaks. Awesome. Tessa said, I'm all on board. Meatless May, no appetite anyway. Good, good. And then also, you know what, when you go to the United Light Beings Awakening group, if you search within the group hashtag Meatless May, all those videos I shared last May will pop up, right? And then I'll start sharing new ones too. A lot that said, Pat, when I heard about that, I was like, I'm not stacking up on no meat. I can do without it. Awesome. And but look at what's happening. Spirit is pushing us into newness, right? So listen, we've talked about this, how everything is shifting, right? And the imbalance was this. The light workers were on top. And so what do? They react by, okay, let's throw a monkey in the wrench and see how many of those light workers we can knock off their game and bring them back to this side of worry, fear, and lack, right? And so this was their attempt. But look at spirit. Look at spirit. Meat really doesn't serve our highest good, right? You can get more protein from plants. Plants with high protein have more protein than meat, right? So it's not a necessity for us, but we've been taught that it is. And spirit's like, okay, light workers, you said you choosing this, you choosing to awaken, you choosing to vibrate high. So, okay, let's make meat less accessible, right? Spirit works in mysterious ways, right? Ways that create magic and miracles if we allow it and if we're open to it. So let's see. My mom said I ground daily. It's so powerful. That is so, so good. Deidre said, I've been researching the original Almanac, untranslated Dead Sea Scrolls. So eye-opening. It's a historical record versus religion. Now, I've heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls, but I have not studied them. So as you receive more information, share it with us. Are you in the United Light Beings Awakening group, Deidre? If not, join us on Facebook. And when you feel led to share information that you have obtained or learned, share it. Go live and share it. I heard each one teach one. Okay. Pass it Alatha, exactly. Bring it on. Meatless May. Alatha said, that's for me totally. Spiritual said, no, I started eating fish in November. I feel bad because I know better, but this cleanse I'm about to do will eliminate all that. Definitely in for the Meatless May. Well, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Release that feeling bad, right? Don't even bring your vibration down like that. It's a part of being human, right? It's a part of being human. So I was led to ask, were you still vegan? I would have never just thought that you were not, right? But Spirit had me ask you that for a reason. And that's so you could release all that feeling bad. It is what it is. Okay, you ate meat since November. What are you choosing to do now? Right? What are you choosing to do now? And then also get in touch with what caused you to eat meat in November. You know, what I'm being told, if it was a craving, look into what it is in the fish that you were craving, right? Because there could be some sort of nutrients or vitamins that you're lacking as a vegan. Because being vegan, we are required to get the nutrients, you know. We can be vegan and not eat healthy or not have the supplements that our bodies call for. So really connect with spirit on that though, right? Not your thoughts, but connect with spirit. What made me choose to eat meat? And then whatever you receive, go from there. A lot that said, my mom called me earlier to ask me about moving to ATL. I was like, yeah, okay, I already received this from Spirit last week. Awesome. And you'll be 3 hours away. And TLN and Diamond are moving to Knoxville. We finna just have our whole entire soul family. Natalie was just here traveling. She didn't stop in because she had went past, but she's like, next time. So yeah, we're just gonna be having spiritual happy hour up close and personal once a month. Mashawn said, I call it the new norm. Awesome. Yes, TK said, I choose growth, and so it is. Deidre said, I will join this group. Awesome. We'd love to have you. Cheryl said, I know the animals will be happy if we went meatless. Exactly. Seriously, they would. They would. And that's what we were talking about. And speaking of the animals, right, and not eating animals, we have clear your energy, and 16 is the number 7. So here's the thing, when it comes to clearing your energy, you know, I've shared this before, and many of us already know this, but back in the day when, like tribes, they hunted meat and they caught the meat off guard when they hunted meat. And then they had ceremony where they prayed over the meat. They showed gratitude for the meat. They left offerings, right? And it was very spiritual, the process of hunting and devouring the meat, right? And so the energy of the meat was a lot different then. But now we have these slaughterhouses and animals are so intelligent. So when they're sitting here waiting to be slaughtered, like they're aware, they're afraid, they're anxious, they're stressed, all these things, they're angry. And that energy gets trapped in that meat. And then when we eat that meat, we're eating all of that energy, right? Which is why the thing that we're being called to understand, there is nothing that is happening, right, in society that is not an intricate design. I don't know any of you that have heard of the Willie Lynch letters, right? But anyways, it goes over like this intricate plot, right, as it relates to racism. Well, when we think in terms of that, that's how the world is designed. There is no aspect of how this world operates that has not been intentionally done to disempower us and keep us further connected from our light, from our truth, right? Because nothing is stronger than light. So how do you become stronger, right? You extinguish the light, right? You make them forget the light is there. That's how it's extinguished, because it's never gone, right? It's not like they're putting it out, but if we forget it's there, it's just as well that it's out, right? So everything is a part of this intricate plan to disempower us, right? And so that's the thing. That's one of the things that eating meat does, is I'm hearing it blocks our energy. It lowers our vibration. I just heard it's also making us murderers. And we're literally eating dead carcass, right? And I don't judge people that eat meat. I don't. My dad eats meat. My 16-year-old eats meat. My twin flame eats meat. I don't judge anyone that eats meat. It's just something I was led to stop doing. And so it's a personal choice. So it's about you tapping in the spirit and see if it serves your highest good to give it up too. But we're getting the clear your energy. So May, this month, it's all about clearing our energy. And it's not just about the meat. What are some other ways we can clear our energy? We can detox from unhealthy relationships, right? Unhealthy patterns, unhealthy beliefs, unhealthy thoughts, right? Because our thoughts and our beliefs are two different things, right? Oftentimes our thoughts begin to create a belief. So the way we stay on top of our thoughts is through things like mirror work, right? Speaking life into ourselves, right? Catching ourselves when we're using lack, right? Or when we're having thoughts of lack and just switching it to the opposite, right? Now we also got protection and reflection. So during this time, let's just use May as like an all-out time of recharge, time of self-reflecting, time of change, time of shift, time of regroup, right? Because here's another thing that happens when you're elevating. And I was talking to one of my siblings in light yesterday about how we'll be flying high, right? We'll be ascending. We'll be floating on air, floating on cloud nine. And then all of a sudden, it's like we just lose our footing, because as we're elevating, it's like we're transitioning from this level to that one. All of a sudden, everything feels like in a disarray, right? And so what Spirit is saying is, because we've already gotten the message that we've all elevated, but now our physical self is being required to catch up to where our soul selves are, let's use May as a time for that, right? Like by the time May is over, let's come back refreshed, recharged, renewed, and ready to serve, starting with self and then those that we're called to serve, however we're called to do it. Like, let's just have this be the mark of, how we have New Year? Let's let this be the mark of our new cycle, the mark of our new cycle. And the more that we do this, right, this time of slowdown, this time of reflection, the more that we do this, the more we're able to contribute to the world experiencing that, right? Don't get caught up. And I'm seeing like a wave, like if someone goes surfing and they get swept under that huge wave. So, and then also protection. This has come up a lot. I'm hearing 21 Savage, a lot. It's come up a lot, right? Now, for whatever reason, I heard it in Terminator's voice. But Spirit is saying that protection is key. It really is. It's another one of those non-negotiables every single day, every single day, every day, every day. So I'm just going to tell you a bit about how not protecting can affect you. So one of our sisters in light, when we have our group sessions for activating you, I connect to each one of their energies individually, right? And so I felt like tickling up my back, right? Like crawling, and the spirit let it be known that there's something attached, right? It's not evil, right? But because of us not protecting, every energy or entity that attaches to us is not always necessarily evil, but it can still have an adverse effect on us, right? We can feel lethargic. We can take on whatever characteristics that soul had when it was living, right? And so either way, it doesn't belong there. And so when we're not protecting, we're open to all sorts of things, not always just evil things, but sometimes just things, period. Think of a foreign object. Like if you had a surgery and the doctor left something in your stomach, all the damage that it could cause, although outside of you, it may not be a scalpel that can cut, right? But if gauze was left in a place it wasn't supposed to be, it could create damage. And so Spirit is saying to look at your protection the same way you look at breathing, right? Because you may choose not to eat, you may choose not to shower, you may choose not to brush your teeth, right? But breathing is a non-negotiable. So Spirit is saying your protection is like breathing every day, non-negotiable. When we talk about self-love, self-care, this is one of the top spiritual ways to love yourself, is to protect, 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 protect. So let's see what you're saying. Hey, Phyllis. Oh, you are so welcome, spiritual. Cheryl said animals have feelings and emotions like we do. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, yes, TK is an ATL too. So yes, yes. So you're 3 hours away too. Look at that, Spirit bringing us all together. All together now. So let's see. Deidre said, a house listing for a house in Atlanta, Georgia just showed up in feed yesterday. I didn't search for any houses, but was nice. Got me thinking, there's no coincidences ever. Phyllis said confirmation, says confirmation. I'm so grateful. Deidre said simplicity. Phyllis said regrouping. My mom said eating meat and toxins is killing us. It really is. It is. Now I'm not as strict with my eating. When I do this fast, I am choosing to be better at more raw, right? More raw. I don't believe I'll ever go full on alkaline just because I enjoy food. Food is a hobby for me. I can admit that with pride. I love food. I really do. It's like a hobby. And alkaline, it's a little more restrictive than I'd like to be. But the thing that I am choosing to do is incorporate more fresh foods, right? More fresh foods. So yeah. Yeah, and even after the sabbatical, I decided that I'm giving myself 2 months of no wine, because I like to have a glass of wine here and there. And so, yeah, I'm 2 months, no wine. I'm like really going to take this sabbatical and just continue in that energy of just clean, So, yeah. Phyllis said, yes, have to protect our spirit and energy. Mashawn said protection is non-negotiable. Yes. Phyllis said, yes. Pat said we need to protect from negative energy too. It definitely serves our highest good to do so. And when we're protecting, that's the thing, is protecting us from everything. When we make that statement, whatever comes to me that is not of highest light and love, may it return to sender or wherever it's meant to go for cleansing. Now, here's the thing. When we hear that, we may think what's not of highest light and love. We may think automatically anything evil. But no, that's not the case. Like if an energy attaching to me, as non-evil that energy may be, if it doesn't serve my highest good, well, then that's not of light and love, because anything that serves my highest good or anything that is of highest light and love serves my highest good. So when we do that protection, we're protecting against everything. And I've told you guys, if you haven't seen the tips and tools video where I go over my protection, my cleansing and protection, that's the other thing. Cleansing first. We talked about this last week. If you don't cleanse first, then you're sealing in whatever's already there. So you cleanse and release, and then you do your protection. So important. Phoenix said, I just been smudging daily and was considering doing it with a spray sage. when I can't burn my Palo, still learning if the spray would provide the same protection. I have a spray that I use in a pinch and I use at night, right? Personally, the strongest thing to burn is the sage, right? The Palo Santos is a gentle energy, and it's more to welcome in that sweet, although it does cleanse as well. But you can definitely use sprays. I know there were a few people that Spirit had the message of even creating your own. You can also use Florida water, but you can create your own spray with some sage leaves, put some lemon and salt, a little vinegar, and that can be your cleansing spray. And then set the intention, calling your guides to bless it and infuse it with that protection power. So most definitely, Cheryl's laughing because I said food is a hobby. So this is the message that we're getting today. And as I am moving into the mini reads, if anyone would like one, I am being led to pull another card or another few cards for us as a collective. Mashawn said, I love food too, Nahkila. Oh my goodness, those enchiladas that was your sister? Or was it your cousin? No, it was your sister, because I was joking. I was like, Cousin Pete. You remember Poetic Justice when they went to the barbecue and was acting like they were cousins so they could eat? Okay. So we have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. It's happening, you guys. It is happening. And you know how it's happening? One light worker at a time. One light worker at a time. It's happening. Each one of us that chooses to be different, that chooses to release our trauma, that chooses to heal from our past, that chooses to find the purpose in our pain, right? That chooses to answer our calling, that chooses to give and receive, it's happening. That chooses to shift our vibration, even if that means by not eating meat, it's happening, right? It's happening. I got to the point where I don't even kill bugs. Like, I will grab something and let the bug go outside. Like, that's how it's gotten. But I'll tell you, when I first stopped eating meat, it had nothing to do with the animals. Like, I wasn't this huge, like, this PETA person that's going to throw paint on you because you got fur on, Like, that wasn't why. Like I said, was telling Spirit that I'm choosing to be the best, grandest, highest version of me. And the craving went away. And so for me, it started as being spiritual reasons, right? To elevate the vibration. But then as I got deeper in my spirituality and that love just for not even humankind, but for living kind got deeper and greater, then it became like the animals. So one day I was watching an infomercial, right? And it was some cooking product they were selling. And I feel silly saying this because it's funny now. It was late. But they were making chicken, and I literally started crying. And I'm like, why would they do that? Like, it was the craziest thing. I had never, ever been that emotional about someone cooking chicken. And it hasn't happened again, but it did start to shift. Like, I look at Ganesh, and I often ask people, would you eat Ganesh? My cat, would you eat, like, if you have a dog or a cat, would you eat that? Like, would you, what makes some animals okay to eat and some animals not? Like, they're, when you spend time around animals, you understand, like, they're like little people, and depending on how big they are, they're like people. So, yeah. Or would you eat a person? You know what I mean? Hey, Natalie. So, yeah, let's get another card for us. Ooh, look at that. Those two flew out. Ooh, okay. So first we're going to do this one. Trust the niggle. Is it niggle or niggle? That little annoying, what's the niggling the niggle? What's the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And then we also have dance with life. So Spirit asked the question and answered it. It says, do you remember, do something to change your energy? Oh, look at that, you guys. What are we talking about? We got clear your energy, and now Spirit is telling us to do something to change your energy, right? Do something to change your energy. So there's layers of messages here, right? So it says, what is that niggling feeling trying to tell you? And it's telling you to dance with life, which is just being in flow, enjoying it, not taking it too serious. But then the other message is do something to change your energy. How can you change your energy? And I'm being told to ask you, aside from what we've been talking about, the giving up meat, even if it's just for May, give me a way you can change your energy. One way outside of that, how can you change your energy? Let's see. Pat said, yes, as we create the best versions of our lives, we give others permission to do so also. Yes, yes, yes. Spirit said we are to be living, breathing examples. And this is another part of being a detached witness, right? Because when you focus on being an example just by simply living, right? It's not like, oh, I'm going to do this so I can be an example, right? But we're automatically an example when we live. That's why throughout my my parenthood, I didn't believe in do as I say, not as I do, because I always knew it doesn't matter what I say to my children. They're going to repeat what they see, right? They're going to repeat what they see. And back in the day when I was 19, when I was 19, I used to smoke weed, right? And I could never really handle weed like that. Like I would take 3 hits and I was done, right? It's because I'm super sensitive and I just really didn't like the high. But with 3 hits, I was good. And back then in Cali, the weed was a little different than the weed that they got going on now. So anyways, when I moved out of my place and I moved back in with my grandparents, I went from smoking weed to smoking cigarettes. And I never thought I would smoke cigarettes because I was the worst on my mom when she used to smoke. And so I smoked cigarettes probably for about 2-3 years at the most. And when I had my oldest son, I would say Asim was probably, let's see, he was almost 3, right? Now, I didn't smoke in front of him. I smoked in the garage and I never smoked when he was in the vicinity, but I still knew that children are intelligent. Even if you're in the garage, they know what you're doing. So that was why I stopped smoking, right? Because I'm like, my child smoking, it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter how much I tell him it's not healthy. If he sees me doing it, he is going to do it. And to this day, my son does not smoke. Now he smokes weed, but he don't smoke cigarettes. So now I'm like, okay, if you're gonna do weed, how about do edibles, right? It's a little healthier. So anyways, but yeah, so that is something that Spirit is saying with us living as an example, right? Just being, because we don't have to say a word. People will see, they will observe, and just from that in itself, that's another form of service. And when we're just being, who are we serving first? We're serving ourselves, right? When we're just being without thought of anything outside of being, we're still serving. So, yeah. Boy, Spirit brought that back quick. You see, Spirit be telling me to share stuff with y'all, and I be forgetting why I'm being told to share. But that time, it came back quick. Y'all didn't even notice I forgot what the point was, did you? So let's see what Sean said. Wait, let's see. I missed a few comments. Michonne said, my sister's a chef. She made me 2 different ones. One black bean recipe and the other was wheat plant-based. Ooh, yes. I've been telling my mom, we've been talking about making some seitan. I had a rolling pin on my Amazon list of things for me to get. And the one that I selected, they didn't have anymore. But yeah, eventually I believe I will make some seitan, and I'll maybe do a video on that when I do. So we'll do it together for the first time. No edits or no takes. First time we're doing it together. Cheryl said, thinking more happy thoughts is one way to change your energy. Yes, that is exactly a great way to change your energy. A great way. And what I was asking Spirit is, how can we, like, say someone who feels like, I'm not happy, so where am I going to get those happy thoughts from? Well, what's something that they can do to still shift their energy? Well, even if you feel like I'm not happy or I don't have any happy thoughts, go into gratitude, right? Because what do you have to be grateful for, right? You could be hungry and sad. You could be homeless and sad. Even if you are homeless, you could be on the streets and sad, right? There's so many other things you could be. So when you can't find that happiness, go into gratitude, right? And then the more you think of those things you have to be grateful for, your energy will rise, your vibration will elevate, and eventually you will start to be happy, because it's like, you know what? Like oftentimes there's certain things that I'll see or I'll witness, and I always say out loud, my mom will be with me, I'll say, it could always be worse. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. It could always be worse, right? It could always be worse. So, yeah. Deidre said, there's a cause that's been manifesting. It feels too big for me, but the subject matter keeps popping up in my path. I share my thoughts, but a whole cause, praying about it. today, hedonism. I heard, yes, a whole cause. You're capable. You're ready. So be ready. I'm hearing get ready. And it's coming through as you're ready, right? Your soul is ready. And when it says get ready, Spirit is saying your mind, get your mind ready. The time is now. No more delay. No more delay. A whole cause. A whole cause. I don't know if you were on when that song Ordinary People, when I was led to share that song Ordinary People with Danabelle Hall, but listen to that song if you haven't heard it before. Listen to it because Spirit is telling you to connect with that. Ordinary people. Ordinary people. Mashawn said, stop watching the news obsessively, please. People don't realize the effect it's having on the vibrations. Exactly, exactly. My mom said, for me, changing my energy is being patient and loving with Mike, no matter how he's acting. That's so specific. No, I'm teasing. And so it is. Mike is my bonus dad, you guys. That's awesome. Pat said music and dancing helped me shift my energy quickly. Awesome. Awesome. And that whole thing with the movement, you know, breaking up stagnant energy and patience too. Getting back to what my mom said, it's key. It's something that you all know I've shared. It's my big old thing that I've been working on. You know, I'm patient. I am so patient. I'm actually more patient. I realize not being patient, I realize is a trait of many light workers. And what Spirit said is because we're so used to operating in a different realm where time is so different, you know? And not only that, but just talking 3D, both my parents are impatient, right? And so not only is it in my spiritual DNA, but it's also in my physical DNA. So yeah, patience. I've been doing good at it. I've been doing good. I will give myself credit for that. And Mom, you've been doing great at it too. Cheryl said the news is pitiful, Mashawn. Yeah, because again, it's designed to bring us down, right? Vibrationally, bring us down. That's another form of control is through the news, Cheryl said I like to smoke cigarettes too. Yeah, it's been, let's see, my oldest son, he'll be 24 this year. So it's been quite a while ago, but yeah, it's been quite a while ago. But if you ask my mom, the way I was as a child on her about smoking, oh my goodness, she was shocked when she found out I smoked. But that's the thing, you do what you see, you know. I was having a talk with someone and they were saying how a lot of the things that they didn't like in their dad and how their dad was to them, they noticed them being the same way. And it's so true. Oftentimes there's aspects of ourselves that we incorporate based on what we saw, right? And it doesn't matter how much we don't like it or how much we know it doesn't serve us, we repeat what we see. So yeah, that's why it was always important for me. So like even with my 16-year-old, I cuss. You know, he doesn't cuss at me or like just in front of me, but he'll be in his room playing his game with his brother and I hear him in there saying certain words. But like I told my mom, I cuss. I can't tell him not to use certain words and I use them, you know, and they're just words, you know. He's playing a game. It's not like he in there chopping his brother's heads off with words, you know? So yeah. The Spirit is saying double standards, but it's coming through be the standard that you seek, be the standard that you expect. Oftentimes we operate in a place of double standards, and the standards are to be equal. Children are just incarnated souls that incarnated at a different time than you. Oftentimes their souls can be older than yours. The moment we stop looking at children as just children and give them the credit that we give adults, the quicker we'll learn the lessons that they're here to teach us, teachers and students at the same time. Much deeper meaning than what initially thought. I just heard, here you go, now run with it. So yeah, let's see. Nashawn said, listen to Like I Do by AWA. There will definitely change your mood and spirit. Okay, Deidre said, okay, got it. We'll listen to that. Phyllis said, I'm going to cancel, delete, try for you. I do my best not to complain because it honestly could be worse. Yeah. Yeah. And when we complain, what we're doing is that complaint is sending a vibration, right? And it's like we're claiming that situation, right? By complaining about it, we're claiming it as our reality, right? As opposed to whatever it is, you know what, I'm choosing, and then stating what we're choosing to have instead, right? So when you feel like complaining, do the bait and switch. When you feel like complaining, because it's a part of being human, just switch it. What would you rather have? And then I am so grateful for, right? I am so grateful for, like, there was a period where my 16-year-old and it was like we were doing this, that teenage years. People say raising girls are harder than raising boys. Now, I've never raised a daughter from birth to adulthood, right? But I will tell you this. I got bamboozled and hoodwinked into thinking boys were easy because my second child, and I would find myself saying things like, oh my goodness, he is so this, or oh my goodness, he is so that. And then I realized what I'm doing is I am creating that because I'm giving it life. So I started to say what I'd rather us be, right? We get along so great. He's so respectful, and the energy is great. And literally now that is our reality because I stopped claiming what I wasn't choosing and I started claiming what I'd rather have. And it shifted. And like, literally, I'll be like, he's doing really good. He's doing really good. And then one day he asked me, he said, why am I the only one who has to change? And so this was when we were still in Washington State, and Spirit was like, Because one day I just lost my cool. He didn't put the groceries away. He know when I bring the groceries up, you put the cold stuff away. If I'm leaving, you put the cold. And the frozen veggies thawed out, and I threw them at him, right? I threw them at him. Now, of course, it wasn't knocking nothing off. It didn't. But it was still that act of aggression that the act of aggression can hurt his feelings more than him actually being hit with frozen fruit or frozen vegetables, right? And so I realized, like, I'm always telling him to be calm. I'm always telling him to breathe. I'm always telling him to have respect. But that was so not calm. That was so not breathing. And that was so disrespectful, right? And so it was like, okay, Nahkila, look at yourself. What can you do to change? So then I changed. And then it was just a matter of time before he changed. He had no choice but to change, right? So, yeah. Oh, thanks, Mom. My mom said, Nahkila, you're an excellent mother. I'm proud of you. I know from these little stories you can't tell. My son cussing. I'm throwing frozen food at him. Smoking. Telling I seem to get edibles. You can't tell, but listen, it works though. It really does. The one thing that my oldest son said to me that made me so proud of him and really proud of the fact that I allow them to be themselves. I allow them to have a voice and to look at things as long as I'm not hurting myself or anyone else, right? I allow them to learn, make their own mistakes, right? So they can get their lessons and have their own blessings. But when he moved to Texas, he's in a really small town in Corpus Christi. And he was saying that a lot of the kids, he says kids still, the kids his age, they do drugs. And I was like, well, what kind of drugs? He's like, heavy drugs, Mommy. I'm not talking about weed. And I said, well, have you? He's like, no. When you used to sit us down and make us watch all those shows and have all those talks with us, he said, what I see is destruction. What they see is a party. He's like, I don't even smoke weed as much. I'll smoke sometimes when I'm recording, but And so anyways, that made me really proud because as a mom, my two biggest things were my children not being molested and not being addicted to anything, right? And so it was like literally I had this period when my older son got beyond that age. I'm like, okay, one down, one to go, right, with the molestation. And now my other son is old enough because he's a big 16-year-old. He's been, looking like a man for a while now. So I'm like, okay, we got past that, right? But it feels good just watching them grow. I may have untraditional ways of parenting, but it's definitely worked. And now that Spirit's guiding me in my parenting, oh my goodness. You guys remember that comedian that said, punk ass parent? That was me. He was describing me. My kids would be on punishment, right? I call it restrictions now because that's what my son prefers. I asked him what he liked. He prefers restriction. So anyways, they'll be on restriction, right? I'll give them like 2 weeks. by nightfall, I'm forgetting that they're on restriction and they're off. That was me. But now spirit will tell me how long and when to let them off, right? So now my son knows, oh, if mommy says, she gonna ask spirit, there's no more getting over on mommy. She's not no punk ASS parent no more. So yeah. But let's see. Mashawn said, oh, that's deep, Nahkila. My daughter thinks I let my grandson get away with too much. Yeah, I believe every child probably experiences that when it comes to the grandchildren. I know my mom and her siblings did when it came to us and my grandfather, for sure. For sure. Phyllis said, death and the life are in the power of the tongue. So true. Pat said, yes, thanks, Nahkila. Spirit just recently reminded me to start doing that with my son, thinking and speaking what I want, what you're choosing, what you rather have, most definitely. Deidre said, Washington State, that's where I'm at. Oh, wow. And Deidre said, Nahkila threw some veggies. I did. And it was like a little thing. That's why I said it was the act that would hurt him more. But I was so frustrated because it was like we were going through a period where when I would talk to him, it's like I didn't say nothing. Like he thought he was just grown. You know, and I always say there's some perks to being the oldest and there's perks to being the youngest. The perk of my son being the oldest was I dealt with his disrespectful moments, but I told my son, I said, listen, my peace is way too important to me these days. And if you were disrupting it when you were 18, if you were not respectful, you got to go. Right. Whereas his brother, we transitioned and he, you know, he had more leeway. But of course, the baby, I remember him telling his brother, I could do whatever I want. Mommy not gonna do nothing to me. They were literally in the room having this conversation. He was bragging, I can do whatever I want. Mommy's not gonna do it. It was funny. But I had crazy mommy back then, right? So I introduced him to crazy mommy because my older son knew crazy mommy. So when I'd be like, you don't want me to bring out crazy mommy, do you? Crazy mommy doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so look, we got share your voice. It says, come out the cave, persecution, expression. So what's the message here, Spirit? Okay, so what I'm being told to tell you is coming out of the cave, you no longer have to fear persecution, right? So many of us are still hanging on to that past life experience where we were persecuted for being who we were. And also, Deidre, when you mentioned about that pushback energy, right? Now what we're experiencing at times is the energy of pushback, right? But what's coming through is this is why it's so important for us to be strong and solid with our divine spirit team. This is why it's so important for us to be, I'm hearing, heavily and deeply involved with our human spirit team, right? Community is important. Having those shoulders you can lean on. Because when you have those moments of weakness or those moments of fear, and weakness is coming through like weakness, right? It's important for you to have someone that can carry you. Someone that can speak those words of wisdom to you. And the way it's coming through, it's because although you always have your spirit team there supporting you, but sometimes when you're in the midst of an experience, right, you're so engulfed in that experience that you don't feel as connected, right? There were plenty of times when I felt that way as it related to love stuff, right? And that's when a hobby, okay, come on, it's time for a reading, you know what I mean? So having that community, having a sibling in light, right? I was able to go to my brother so that he could carry me when I wasn't able to carry myself, right? And so Spirit is telling you that persecution may happen, but it's happening in a different way now. And it's happening in a way where you will survive, you will continue, you will move on. So do it anyway. I'm hearing, don't allow the light to be dimmed. And Spirit is bringing us back to that original message, but now we're receiving it in the other way. Like literally, don't allow your light to be dimmed. Also, what I'm hearing the song Walk On By, but it's coming through like when you look at this card and you look at her being in this cave and look outside of the cave, look how beautiful that water is and all the sparkling, the pyramids, and there's like this big old city, right? And she's kind of just sitting there, all that divinity within her, Look at all that divinity within her, but she's just sitting there afraid to experience life, right? So what Spirit is saying is, although this human experience is much different than your star origin, right, or your soul origin, it's important that you experience it. So when we talk about isolation, a lot of light workers, in part, the reason why we go into isolation mode, right, is because being that we're brought here to create a new world, to create a new way of being, that means that the majority of those around us outside of our immediate spiritual community are going to be on different vibrational frequencies. So as it comes to resonating or relating, we don't always feel at home there, right? So we tend to go into our cave. And Spirit is saying, you're meant to experience this life. You're meant to live this life. You're meant to make a difference in this life. So come out of your cave. And for some, I'm hearing, come out of your shell. Come out of your shell. Let the world see your shine. Let the world see your shine, right? Because it's not that you're not shining. You're just not allowing the world to see it. Much different. Much different. And for those of you that are not shining, it's time to start. I'm hearing create an energy within and a pact with yourself. Spirit said, tell him, Nahkila, that your conviction to follow the guidance you receive will be stronger than any of your human hangups. As long as you do that, I'm hearing you won't be stopped. You won't be moved. You will be in flow. Blessings and abundance. Bliss, it's yours. Okay, thank you. It's okay, so that's all we got. So let's see. Let's see what. You just said it's so good that your son shares what's in their heart. You did it. I see you and your mama's love and wisdom being passed down. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's like my younger son. I said something to him and my bonus dad was like, don't embarrass him like that. I'm like, my son doesn't get embarrassed. We talk about everything, like everything, literally everything. And so things that most kids will get embarrassed to talk about, he's not. Like, my kids know I'm a bit of a weirdo, but they're used to it because I've been this way all my life. And my son's just like, you just keep getting weirder by the day. But it was so important for me that they had a voice. I made a choice early on. I would rather my children feel the love and know that when they come to me, they're not going to be judged, right? I am going to teach them. I'm going to direct them, but they have the freedom of choice, right? I'm going to show them both possible scenarios, and then they get to choose because this is their life, right? So they're always equipped with the knowledge, but what they do with it is up to them. And just knowing that I can go to mommy with everything. I'd rather them come to me than go to their peers who know as much as them. And over the years, they do. They literally talk to me about everything. Like my bonus dad, my mom gave my son this virtual reality thing, right? And he goes, Mommy, you know what I can do with that? I'm like, what? He said, there's porn on there. And I was like, boy, but like, this is how comfortable he is talking to me, and yeah, there's no limit to what they talk to me about. So I'm grateful. I really am grateful. Pat said, LOL. Oh no, I think I'm that podcast parent sometimes. Let spirit guide it, Pat. I'm telling you, once spirit started guiding it, oh my goodness, it made a difference. And then I didn't feel guilty. Part of it was I felt bad. I never really believed in spanking my kids, but yeah, I would feel bad for them. And so, yeah, not now. Spirit is like, nope, they're still on it. So my son will ask, I'm like, nope, spirit says, so you might as well stop asking. Now he knows the spirit says it's a wrap. It's not happening. Phyllis said, I was molested by my cousin when I was 8. And it's weird because at the exact same thing happened to my daughter when she was the same age. I'm receiving, this is the thing from your childhood to heal from, because I know for you, there's a lot of messages that have been coming through about healing, something from your past. Also, by you healing, what you're doing is you're creating a different vibrational frequency within your family. So oftentimes, the things that we fear, right? The things that we fear, we create. So for a long time, that was a fear of mine. Like I talked about, it was a fear of mine that my children to experience that, right? And then I went from the fear state to preventative state, right? So what were some of the things? Like they really weren't allowed to do sleepovers at other people's houses. And if they did, definitely meeting the parents, definitely paying attention to the vibe, meeting the children that were at that house to see how they were, right? And so oftentimes when things happen, we are now vibrating at a certain frequency of belief. And then, it continues on. So as you heal yourself, your daughter will heal, and then you guys will stop that cycle, right? Be able to stop that cycle is what I'm receiving. And Spirit is telling me to tell you, know that you've done a great job. You've done a great job. And your daughter's experiences are your daughter's experiences because her soul agreed to it. It's not anything you did or didn't do. It's not anything you could have done better. You are going to be able to serve from this place of healing, and so is she. So just know that you're a warrior. You're strong. And also pour into your inner child, Phyllis. Pour into your inner child, because your inner child still feels the effects from that experience. Yeah. Bad that I can relate. I can also be crazy, mommy. Yeah. I'm like, oh no, we can't have him in here talking about mommy not gonna do nothing. It's so funny. I have so many stories over the years raising those boys. And the one thing too, I'm so grateful because I actually really like my son's girlfriend a lot. He hasn't had many girlfriends. My younger son has never had a girlfriend yet, but my older son, he hasn't had many, but I really like her. When I first met her over the phone, it was like, oh, it's funny because you just got with a little mini me, like the advice she gives to him, And so I told them both, I'm like, I'm so glad I like you, and I always call her princess. I'm like, now I have my daughter. And I know they're going to end up married. Like Spirit has already said, my son is more of a, he's more of a settle down person as opposed to like from girl to girl, So. And I like that my 16-year-old, he hasn't had any experience. He hasn't even kissed a girl yet, And he was so excited when he had his school dance and the girls were twerking on him, right? But he hasn't had a girlfriend, hasn't kissed a girl. So I'm glad that he's slowing down. It's like we're so used to at 16, most kids are not virgins, let alone haven't even had a kiss yet, and I'm grateful that he's at that slower pace, not slow at all. He's very mature, and then they both promised me they'd wait till they were 18. Right. And I'm always big on keeping their promises, like just at least until you're 18. And I always say, because, if you're not responsible enough to do your chores without being told, how responsible are you going to be to protect yourself? So, yeah. You are so welcome, Cheryl. Now we're just chatting it up. So, and even if no one's doing mini readings today, I'm enjoying the chat time. So if you are interested in mini reads, we can do that, but we don't have to. It's totally up to you all. Javi said, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Yeah. And I'm glad that Javi said that, because the thing, and I've said this to Javi before too, oftentimes when I hear things, because I understand that every single experience that we've had, right, it grows us. And although in the time it doesn't feel good, right, and even the effects that carry over from it, it doesn't feel good, right? But I know that from your pains, right, your blessings are formed, right? So I will tell you all up front, if I don't use words like, I'm sorry that happened to you, it's not that I'm not empathizing, because I am, but I'm feeling the energy from a different perspective, in the sense that this is what made you strong, right? And when I say that, it's coming from that place of you stepping into your full power, right? Those experiences that you had. So please know that it's not a lack of sensitivity. It's just that I'm giving you what I'm receiving, and that's how Spirit guides me to give to you, right? So, yeah. We are on whatever you like to call it right now. Cheryl said, are we still on Empower Hour? Phyllis says, so sorry to hear that. Or Pat said, so sorry to hear that. Roz said, you're so in Phoenix Lane with crazy mommy. Her sons would not have it any other way. Fantastic mother. That's so good to hear because, yeah, it's worked. And you know what it does? It gives them a freedom to be themselves because they've seen me, like literally, I've been dancing to the beat of my own drum, tambourine, whatever, shakers my whole life, rattles, and so they have that freedom to do the same because that's all they've seen, and just, be mindful of others, but don't let that mindfulness affect how you express yourself. As long as you're being a good person, you're not hurting anyone intentionally, right? Because you may be you and it may hurt some folks, but if it wasn't your intention, then, so yeah, especially my younger son, he's real big on calling me out on my weirdness. My older son is more laid back, but yeah. Phyllis said, thanks, sis. I have 2 handsome grandsons. Natalie said, this is so sweet. Deidre said, Phyllis, I didn't see your comment. I wasn't laughing at you. I send you a vibration of compassion. I can relate. Generational thievery. You and your daughter's light can be stolen. It's a trick. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Phyllis says she's a grown woman now. Pat said, wow, that's a compliment to you that your son's girlfriend is like you. She's so sweet. She's so sweet. Like she just graduated college, and a matter of fact, I'm going to send her something because of everything we weren't able to go to graduation because they didn't have one, and she's worked hard, And so someone asked her about doing a website, and she reached out. She's like, "Well, how much did you pay for your website?" And then I told her, but then Spirit told me a number to give her for her. And so, so we're going to connect before my sabbatical because now that she's done with school, she went to school for marketing. And so we had talked about her helping me with my marketing. And I'm like, there's a lot of people in the field that I'm in that would love, to hire you, because her goal is to go and work for a company. And so it's just nice because a lot of times, parents don't necessarily like the person that their child is with for their child, and I'm grateful that I do. I really, really like her. I would not mind years down the line when they're ready having her be the mother of my grandchildren. Yeah, she's really sweet, really sweet. And her mom loves my son too. So they're both loved by the other parents. So Natalie said, I'm sending one for mini reading. Awesome. You are first, Natalie. You are first. Pat said, Nahkila, that's my son too. He's almost 15, but he's still green with girls. I'm so glad too. Yeah, me too. Because, he was so excited when they were twerking on him. And he came home and told me all about it. Javi said the best part of being on live is the conversation. I'm so grateful. I love it too. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't know if y'all was like, where's the cards? But, a lot that said, I want a reading. A lot that you do not want a reading. You don't want nothing. Cancel, delete that. A lot that said, I was hoping to go last because I'm about to run an errand. Okay. So right now it's just you and Natalie. So Natalie will be first. Phoenix said, I didn't allow my older sons to date in high school. So now they make sure that my younger two have the same experience. No girlfriends until graduation. Oh man. Let's see. Aberdist. Am I saying that right? Absurdist. Am I saying it right? What's your name? Tell me so I can say it right. And yes, okay, so I will share the link for the mini reading. The mini readings are $20, and it is for single question readings or a general. So I just shared the PayPal link, and if you'd like one, Absurdist, is that how you say it? Then I just shared the link with you. Natalie said, I just paid. I like a general message, just some confirmation that I'm on the right track or doing what I'm supposed to do. Also, love is very confusing right now. So whatever comes through. Okay. Okay. Phoenix said also she doesn't realize it yet. Ra's weirdness led me to this path. Don't tell her. That's so amazing. That's like, okay, I'm going to share this with you guys, and then I'm going to do Natalie's reading. So, you know how I told you all how spirit led me not to accept the stimulus money, right? And so my son and I, we were talking because his job is closed. And I asked him, had he applied for unemployment? Had they applied? And so anyways, he was telling me that he had, and, and he had been getting it. And he told me how much money he had saved. And then when he asked about me and I explained it to him, he goes, well, could you use any help? If so, let me know. And I was just like, I was so touched by that. Like, I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I'm like, I am fine. And I say, you know how you can help me? You can write and record a song that I can have as like the theme song for like the conferences, the retreat, because I love my son's music, and I'm like, record a song that is like the song for, and he is on the same path as far as his beliefs and the things that he teaches, through his community, right? And so I'm like, that's how you can help me. He didn't respond because I've been on him about this song for a while. So set the intention with me that he'll do it so that we have it for the United Light Beings Awakening Tour next February. Let's set that intention together. Okay, so I am disconnecting from the energy of the collective and connecting to Natalie's energy spirit. Well, Natalie, before I even connected, the first thing was, well, you're definitely on the right track. But I didn't say it yet because I was saying it out of a knowing. And I was like, okay, that's me. So let's just let spirit guide it all. And spirit is saying you're definitely on the right track. But there are some tweaks that can be done. Number one, a rest and relax are necessary. So you're getting the message to completely shut everything down for 3 full days, like everything, 3 full days. What I'm hearing is what's happening is as we talk about that energy of disruption through elevation, that's what I'm hearing, are experiencing and have been experiencing. But you have not given yourself a full time to rest. I'm hearing a time to rest fully so that you can integrate your new energy. So it's like you're operating, I'm hearing, from fumes and off of fumes. You have more energy within your thumb than a lot of people have within their whole entire soul. But what I'm hearing is, but you have not yet learned how to fully direct it into positive channels. What this means is you cut yourself short. You are in a very narrow lane, and your lane is meant to be much broader. So by you taking these days for self and spirit, you will be directed on how to direct your energy. So on the inside, your energy feels good, right? As I'm connecting to your energy, in the body, good. Up here, it feels like a head cold. It's really tight and tense. And even in the ear chakras, right? And in the eyes, right? So okay, now I'm going to say it how I'm getting it, even though I don't even know if this is a real way to say it. But what I'm receiving is you're seeing things from an illusioned lens, right? An illusioned lens. And it's coming through. It's because your eyes have been open for so long. Think about when you're really, really sleepy and you haven't slept and you're so sleepy that your eyes hurt, right? That's how it's coming through. Like Spirit is saying, it's time for you to rest. And part of the lack of taking the rest, where it's a full-fledged disconnect, is number one, a fear of lack. And number two, I'm hearing a fear of what you're going to find, right? There's more healing in store. And by you taking this break, You're going to really get in touch with what that is. You're going to really get in touch with self. You're going to see you. I'm hearing without the rose colored glasses, but the rose colored glasses is coming through as really dark, like it's not even really rose or even red. It's more like blood over the lens is how I'm seeing it, right? It's like obscuring your vision. You don't give yourself enough credit. That confidence is felt on the outside. It's time to feel it on every part of your inside. No more pretending to play small or pretending to be big. Just be. And in being, at times you are big and at times you are small. Flow. And I'm hearing that Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone song playing. Why is that? Okay. So what's coming through is what I heard was because Natalie must understand that when she's lacking the presence of self, she's lacking the presence of sun. And they're referring to the sun as like what the sun card represents in the tarot deck. As far as love, what I'm hearing is love will come when you're ready. Right now, it's all about having fun. But even in that fun, it's about exploring and learning yourself. The more you heal, the more you grow, the more solid you are in your knowingness of your divinity, the more love will begin seeking you out. Several suitors, but that one high level soulmate will be in the midst, and you'll be ready to, I'm hearing, to select them, to choose them out of the bunch. Now here's the thing. I'm hearing it's not like you're not doing things right. And it's not like you're doing things wrong. It's just time for you to elevate. You've ran the course of where you were. They just said, stop putting on for the gram, but it came through like, do it for the gram, right? And I'm being told to ask, if you go deep within your soul, what would you find? And as I'm asking that question, what I'm seeing is like this dark room. It's this dark, empty room. I see this cute little girl, like not in the fetal position, but you know how you put your feet down and your knees are to your chest and holding, she's holding her legs like this, and she's just kind of like this, and she's kind of looking around. And she's kind of afraid, but she's looking around because she's curious and she's building up the courage to like get up from that place and go explore. And I'm hearing an escape from her own fears. That's the energy that's coming through with you. So what I'm receiving is when that little girl got up, she never explored her fears within that dark room. I'm hearing within that darkness. She got up, left out that door, went into a different room. She didn't look around that room. She went out that room to a different room. And so it's coming through like you got up, you went through that door, through the other door, through the other door, but you did not explore, right? You didn't explore deeply each room that held the door. So spirit is saying take time to explore, right? And the way it's coming through is like this house is a representation of your soul, of your experiences. I'm hearing of your goings, right? So it's not just coming through as a past thing. It's coming through as, yes, aspects of your past, but how are they affecting you now and where you're going, where you're choosing to be? Release self-sabotaging thoughts. I'm hearing allow yourself to play with the child within. And also be gentle with your words. Don't chop everyone's head off. Some people don't even have a head. They're speaking from the heart. So when you go to swing at, I'm hearing swing at the head and the neck, you're oftentimes hitting them with an axe in the heart. See, here's the thing. Not everyone's on your level. So whereas you may think things are common sense, I'm also hearing whereas you may think things are duh, not everyone is there. So you're called to have more compassion. But having that more compassion starts with self. Don't be so hard on yourself. The kinder and gentler you are with you, the kinder and gentler you'll be able to be with others. Now, with that being said, don't lose your spunk either. When you explore these unexplored rooms, you'll be in balance with your full self. Because your full self is sharp-witted and gentle. So just lean in. Search for the answers within by tuning out. And also remember that you are not alone. You have help, you have guides in spirit and in physical. I'm here, so go ahead, reach out. And then they're playing the reach out and touch somebody's hand. They're saying elevation is key, but say it. Elevation is key, but it starts with me. That's what they literally said. They said, say it. Like they're telling me to tell you to say that to yourself. Elevation is key, but it starts with me. And that's exactly how they said it. And now I'm hearing the NDIRE song playing, I Am Ready for Love. And what they're saying is, so love. So be love. And they said, remember like that lesson we had to teach Nahkila. Sometimes you're called to love from the 5D. Because the 3D form of love can sometimes daze and confuse the light within. When you get to a point of healing those aspects, then you'll be ready for the 3D. And the Spirit said, right? Tell her about it. So literally, the part of telling you about it, there was like a period where I was in like major healing. Now, I didn't take a step away from serving at this time, but major healing, reflecting on the aspects where my traumas were affected in my love life, where my traumas were affecting my love life that I was not aware of. And literally every day I would have these healing sessions with my guides through meditation where I would call them in to heal me, right? To point out, first of all, and then help me to heal and release. And during that time, what Spirit was reminding me of was to love from the 5D. Like I would forget that. And I was in this 3D realm of loving and I wasn't ready for that yet, right? And when I got through those things and healed those things, now it's like, now I'm bringing that 5D love into the 3D. Right. And so although I'm now operating from that 3D, I'm still bringing in the 5D sentiment. And so they were telling me to share that because that's what they're telling me to tell you to think in terms of that, right? Right now, it's all about you. It's all about you. And it's about having fun. You don't have to be celibate or not date while you're in this space of healing, right? When you do, and what Spirit is saying is you will have more than just this one time where you tune out. And when you are in your tune out phase, it is important for you to disconnect from everything, everyone, right? But it's not to say that you can't be intimate or you can't experience loving relationships, right? But I'm hearing, but you won't find the one until you find yourself fully and completely on each level, right? On each level. And right now, Spirit is talking about this one, this level right here. Taking a time out. And I'm even hearing and doing some backtracking, going back in those rooms and looking around and exploring. Anything else? Okay. I'm being told to pull a card from this deck. But I'm being told not to decipher the card, just pull. Ooh, ooh, woo, you see that? It flipped out, jumped out. So you have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? How can you mother yourself? And I was told not to decipher, but what Spirit is telling me to tell you is to think about that little girl that came up in that dark room. So let me see what you're saying. Absurdist. Okay, that's pretty. Thank you for clarifying. Alata said I've heard his songs on Spotify. Oh, awesome. I'm glad. Deidre said I didn't accept the stimulus money either. I need his song too. Well, cancel delete need, but yes, it serves our highest good. I'm just like, I see him, come with it, come on, do it. Ross said your son is working on your song. He wants it like no other because you are so special to him. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes I can't believe I have a grown up, but I'm so grateful for both of them. Like, seriously. Yeah. My older son, I had him when I was 19. I was 3 months away from my 20th birthday, and he was like my motivation when I didn't love myself enough to be my own motivation. So, yeah. Natalie said, oh no, it's buffering for me. I'm behind like 10 seconds now. Vanessa said, inner child, yes. And I love that son. Natalie said, very relevant to childhood wounds. I just realized were there. Yeah, yeah. And as I'm reading that comment, Spirit is telling me to remind you of something. So here's the thing. When I did my healing journey, right, I didn't know how I was still affected in the love department because it wasn't something that I experienced every day, right? Like the twin flame union, right? When I went through my healing, my major healing, I was married to my second husband, right? So I was on the tail end of exiting that relationship. But the things that were healed the most were the things I experienced on a regular basis. And so childhood is not something you experience consciously on a regular basis. So although there's some aspects that you may have healed, that's an area that's still affected because how much time have you taken out just for that, right? And what Spirit is saying too is as we're discovering these new layers to heal, don't beat yourself up because we all have them, right? We all have them. Now that the love stuff is healed, now in our sessions, Jillian is like, yeah, nope, not really feeling nothing. I'm like, yep, nope, me neither. But you know what? I'm pretty sure that eventually it's going to be something else because I'm still breathing. I'm still choosing to continue to elevate. So each elevation requires more healing, more growth, more discovery. So just know that Spirit is commending you for your bravery, right? For your no holds barred with living and being. Oftentimes just thinking of the fact that you just turned 21. You just turned 21. And if you never said that to someone, no one would ever know that because of all this wisdom, right? And all of this old soul energy that you bring, right? But even in our greatness, we're still growing. We're still evolving. And so Spirit is saying, be gentle. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. You're exactly where your soul called for it to be at this time. So, yeah. Natalie said, very relevant to childhood. Okay. Phyllis said, Spirit had me to come back. Awesome. Natalie said, don't chop everyone's head off. LMAO, please, Spirit. Natalie said, gotcha. Natalie said, got it. Yes. Absurdist said, I paid via PayPal. Awesome. Thank you so much. Natalie said, yes, I understand very well. Thank you. Relevant and powerful for what I'm going through now. Thank you. You are so welcome. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. Phyllis said, I do need to get an energy reading one day. Yeah. Well, it serves your highest good. You don't need to do anything. It serves your highest good. So thank you so much, Natalie. I'm so glad it resonates. And now I'm hearing the song, We're in the Money, We're in the Money. Do, 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 do. That song. Okay, so I heard sing that song to yourself and dance around while you're singing it like a kid in a cartoon. or a kid watching a cartoon. So I also received that for you. I don't even know all the words to it, and they didn't give them to me. They were just, we're in the money, we're in the money. So they're saying it's because you're not meant to sing the rest, just we're in the money, we're in the money. And I'm literally seeing you dancing around, like almost how people dance when they've caught the Holy Ghost. Like I'm seeing you dancing similar, and just so much energy and excitement and joy as you sing this song and dance. So, okay, awesome. Thank you. Michonne said that song is for me. I'm claiming it. Okay, so Aberdis, do you have a question or would you like a general? I'm disconnecting from Natalie's energy and I am connecting to Aberdis energy. Michonne said, and so it is. Yes, and so it is. Okay, whose message is that? Okay, Aberdis, one of the things that I'm receiving right now is turn the lights off, let me look at you. That's what. And then the song, I don't know if you guys remember this song, Leave the Lights On When We Make Love Tonight. That song is playing now. But okay, tell me what's the relation. And I'm waiting. Oh, you're so welcome, Natalie. You're so welcome. I'm still waiting to know if you have a question or if you like a general. I know it's a little bit delayed. So what's coming through as turn the lights off, let me look at you. What Spirit is saying is pay less attention to your outer appearance, allow people to see your soul, right? The importance of what people are to see in you has nothing to do with physical appearances. I'm hearing you're beautiful, perfect, whole, and complete. Let them see your soul. Okay, you said general. Okay. Let them see your soul. I'm also being told to tell you to clear the energy that's clogging your third eye and rest your back. Don't pick up things that are too heavy for you. This is coming through as physically, spiritually, and energetically. Allow yourself to move at your own pace without judging your pace. And it's coming through like slow as a snail. And Spirit is saying sometimes you feel that you're moving too slow. Don't rush your experiences. Don't rush your journey. Also, stop allowing other people to influence what you see within you and them. I'm hearing allow yourself to see souls, and I'm hearing like you're a soul seeker, a soul seer, and the frequency is changing. So let's just see what's the message there. Why is that happening? I'm being told to tell you, listen to the voice of God. It sounds like yours for a reason. Allow yourself to connect deeper to your soul tribe. Okay, I'm being told to tell you to look up the Zulu Nation. And it's coming through not like that rap group, but it's coming through like the Shaka Zulu, like, you know, tribesmen and women. Sun disk. I'm being told to tell you to get a citrine, a circular citrine, not like a sphere, but a sphere of circle, like the ball, but one that's flat, right? It can be kind of thick, but mostly flat, right? Like a disc. And what I was saying was like, you know, when the tribal men and women would have those discs in their lip, that's how it was coming through. There's a connection there for you. If you have an opportunity to travel to Africa, do it. I'm being told to tell you also allow yourself to receive the energy of zebras. Now, I didn't know why Spirit had me have this book out. Typically I put the stuff away after using it, but Spirit said to keep this out. And so I'm being told to pull up Zebra and read the message for you from that. STW. Oh, wait, what? Okay. So it says, Zebra's element is earth. Its primary colors are black and white. And as I'm saying that, Spirit is saying not to see everything in black and white, begin to see things in color. And it says zebra symbolizes balance, community, and individuality. When zebra appears, it means you're looking at a situation as all or nothing when it's not that way. Explains the black and white, right? Zebra shows you that situations are not always categorized in absolutes. Zebra urges you to see the gray areas between the lines, the part where the black and white blends together. Sometimes it is this gray area where the most important discoveries are made. Zebra can help you find balance between your daily life and your spirituality. Sometimes you may feel your intuitive nature is making you stand out in the crowd when really all you want to do is blend in. Zebra can protect you from any perceived danger you feel because you're exposing a private part of yourself to others. You're very clairvoyant and may feel drawn to help people by using your abilities, but are afraid of what the naysayers will say. Zebra urges you to follow your path and know that you are using your abilities in a positive, helpful way, and you will influence and help many people. It may be hard stepping away from the herd, but when you do, you'll run wild and free. Okay, so what I was receiving at the end when wild and free, Spirit said wild and free. And I was being told to tell you, allow yourself to run wild in nature. So I'm hearing dance like no one's watching. It's really coming through to release the perception of other people's thoughts. Stop overthinking and stop thinking for them. When you connect deeper to your soul, you'll begin to connect with that divinity within. What's that all about? Past things that were said to you growing up. I'm hearing mental, emotional abuse. Okay, so I'm hearing a few things. I'm hearing, and this is coming through, is this doesn't have to necessarily be childhood with the part that's coming through now, but just over the course of life, people that have loved you have told you things like you're not going to be nothing. Like your voice doesn't matter. And what Spirit is saying is it's not always like those words that are spoken, but sometimes it was expressed through action, right? And through certain actions, this is the energy that you perceived, right? And what Spirit is saying is to remember that oftentimes what a person is projecting, it's about what they're feeling inside. You are definitely ready to serve. And my ear keeps itching. So at first I felt the frequency change. Now my ear is itching. And so what Spirit is saying is that you're receiving messages, you're receiving insight, and it's time for you to trust what you receive more, right? It's time for you to trust what you receive more. Also speaking your truth. So what I like you to do is take your hand and just send energy to your throat chakra, right? And you don't have to do it now, but you can do it like when you're meditating or you're about to meditate, and just channel in divine healing energy, call in your divine spirit team of highest light and love. I call on my spirit team of divine highest light and love. I call on you. I thank you for assisting me with healing my throat chakra so that I may speak my truth, the truth that is within my soul, right? Just as long as you're calling on your divine spirit team and you're showing gratitude for the healing they're assisting with as if it already is, right? And then when you're sending that energy to your throat chakra, make sure you're taking those slow, deep breaths and then cough a few times, right? Have something beside you that you can spit in. So as you're releasing this energy, right? And as I'm feeling the energy in the throat, I'm feeling a connection to your heart chakra, right? So as you're releasing the energy through your throat, it's stemming from the heart, allowing it to come up from the heart, touching the throat and bringing it all out, right? Bringing it out, releasing it, right? You often hide in the shadows and you don't always say what's on your mind, but it's time for you to start doing that because your words are valuable. You peace through your words. Also, podcast, do a podcast, do a book. I'm hearing and do a show where you invite others on to talk about life experiences and you allowing yourself to be guided on helping them with healing. I'm hearing local TV station, YouTube, and then setting no limits on how far it can go. And for whatever reason, I'm also feeling a shaved head. A shaved head. It represents a new start. Now, I don't know if your head is shaved. I don't know if you've thought about shaving your head, but I'm seeing a shaved head. And it's like the most cute shaped head that I'm seeing. I'm also seeing those gold chokers, the barred gold chokers. I'm seeing that. Really regal. And so, okay, I was hearing the song Egyptian Lover. Egyptian Lover. So I was like waiting for Spirit to tell me what that means. And what Spirit is saying is for you to connect to the energy of the 80s. There's some things from the 80s that you're being called to cleanse, clear, and heal. Now, I don't know if you were born in that time, if you lived in that time. Like, I don't know how old you are, but there's some things from the 80s that you're being called to cleanse and heal. Things that have been passed down from generation to generation. And I'm being told your nosiness was more curiosity, but it's even things like that through your curiosity being called nosy. These are all things that can leave an imprint. Going back and figuring out all your imprints and then healing and releasing them. Also treating yourself to a body massage. Allowing yourself to release physical tension will help you be in a place of releasing energetic tension. And then switching. So by releasing energetic tension, it will then release your physical tension. Don't overthink things. Don't overthink situations. Allow love to find you in its purest, deepest form. Allow yourself to be guided. I heard you have a wish, now live it. The more you live your wish, the more your wish will come true. You also have been touched by angels, ancestors. They walk with you, especially from the Zulu tribe. How long have you been out of touch with your true reality? Not very long. Last time you incarnated, you knew who you were, just like you know who you are now. So you not living up to your, I'm hearing, full and infinite potential. It's not because you don't know. It's just you've been dimming. So stop. It starts here, it starts now. And then I heard the buck stops here. Okay, and then I heard, speaking of bucks, allow yourself to run wild and run free. So going out in nature. I'm seeing you running and your hair just blowing with the wind, literally in nature. And then also I'm seeing you in a convertible, you know, even if it's a rented convertible, but where you just go, where you can just drive and let the wind just hit you. So spirit is bringing forth both, but it's really all about freedom for you. It's all about you allowing yourself to be free, free of self-judgment and free of the judgment of others, releasing that. And the way you do that is by accepting you, right? And how do you accept you? By healing those parts of you that don't accept you. Okay. I'm being told to pull a card. Oh, you have feeling alone. Feeling alone. And there's something about the way this woman is dressed, and there's also something about the way the environment looks that takes me back to the message that's coming through with you connecting to like tribal ancestors. And although those are trees back there, upon first glance, what I was receiving is those are your ancestors. So you'll connect deeper and find the energy of your ancestors through nature. If you know of a place that looks similar to this, go there, visit there, you know, ground there, meditate there. But what I'm being told to tell you is that you are not alone. You're not alone. Your ancestors are with you. And also, when you choose to open yourself up to a greater community here in this realm, you'll find that they're there for you too. Okay. So that is your message. Let me know how it resonates. I'm going to see if you left any comments. Let me know how it resonates. And thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. I'm also being told to tell you to get more sleep, get more rest. A lot that said I used to be very disciplined. How can I get and stay back on track? Picked up some bad habits and have struggled to get rid of them. Okay, so, wow. Okay, Javi, thank you so much. And it's not so much that you're physically tired, it's more like your soul is tired. But it's manifesting as like feeling drained physically. So get more rest. And as you're resting, allow yourself to connect, setting the intentions that in your rest state, you're receiving healing. So, okay, awesome. Albert just said, thank you. All of it resonated deeply. I'm so grateful. So grateful. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. And yeah, it's like your energy feels really peaceful, but it feels really drained as well. So, but again, it's not like a physical tired. It's more like a spiritual tired, right? A more like your soul is like, let's heal this now, right? And oftentimes you receive healing in your sleep state. So this is why like that feeling of being drained is coming through, because a lot of healing takes place in your sleep state. So if you have the option to take naps when you feel led. But definitely Spirit is saying get more sleep, get more sleep. So I am disconnecting. Okay, I'm connecting to a lot this energy. A lot that as I'm connecting to your energy, what I heard was get back on track with your soul family. I'm hearing group sessions keep you grounded. And I'm hearing it's not like it's going to always be like this, but right now it is. You weren't ready. But when you step back in and step back out, you will be operating in your highest frequency. which means you will be doing what serves your highest good to do. I mean, you've also become over engulfed by other people's issues. Lots of dumping on you. But yet you haven't dumped. And it's literally coming through like you haven't dumped the trash. And it's like when people are expressing to you or sharing with you, it's like that's what they're doing. They're getting rid of that toxic energy that doesn't serve them. That's why talking about it makes them feel better. But yet it's now dumped on you. And Spirit is saying you're not taking out the trash. And I'm seeing you literally like at the dumpster, like the where you would go to dump trash. And what I'm hearing is seeing is believing. So start seeing yourself as your divine self. And as that was coming through, like Spirit is saying, like literally asking Spirit to show you your soul, right? Show you your divine self. So whether that comes through as you in a past life or you before you incarnated in human form, Spirit's not telling me how it will be shown, but literally asking to be shown. So part of when you're able to see your divine self, it will help you maintain your consistency because now you'll see yourself for who you really are. Other people see you, but they even have no idea. But it's time for you to see you. Okay. So Spirit is telling me to share. So I had gotten this book and it talks about like the different origins of our souls, like, and I'm like, I relate with all of these, right? All of these. And then there was a part where it's like, well, we may not have discovered what you are, blah, blah, blah. And so Spirit revealed to me what I am, right? And by me knowing this, when I'm having those moments of humanness, I remind myself of who I am on a soul level. And it helps me to push through the humanness, right? And so that's what Spirit is saying. By you seeing yourself, by Spirit revealing to you who you are, it's going to help you in those times when you aren't behaving as or acting as yourself. And what that means is like if you're not doing what serves your highest good, that's not you acting as yourself, right? You're vibrating in a lower frequency than the frequency that you actually possess. So I'm doing some heart chakra stuff. And what Spirit is saying is empty your heart, right? Empty your heart. But it's coming through like the things that you've taken on. So oftentimes when we think of people dumping, we think solar plexus, right? But what Spirit is saying is you're taking it right here. So you're carrying a lot of stuff here that's other people's. And it's time for you to dump that. It's time for you to release that. You can even see like a valve, and I'm seeing it like when you have those big containers for cookouts and they have the spout, I'm saying it like that, like a spout on your heart, and you push it and literally just hear the sound and feel all the energy that's been dumped on you that does not belong or does not serve your highest good flowing out, right? It's all just flowing out, releasing it from your heart, releasing it from your heart, right? Just allowing it to flow out from your heart, right? Because it doesn't belong to you. It doesn't serve your greatest good to have it, releasing it. And you can do this for yourself, right? Do this for yourself periodically, but Spirit is saying spending some time doing this now is important. And the more you release those things off of your heart, the easier it'll be for you to maintain. And it's also coming through again, remembering your why. Like, why does it serve your highest good? Why are you choosing this, right? What is the purpose? What is your purpose, right? That'll help. Hmm. Okay. So I'm hearing weed and weeds, right? And so it's coming through like weeds have grown around your heart, right? It's time for you to do your yard work. Everything has grown so tall that you can't really, I'm hearing, can't fully see the vision. And it's coming through like, whereas before I'm seeing like this green grass, it was manicured. I'm seeing you kind of dancing in this like Pollyanna dress kind of, but you can see like the sun and you can see all these flowers and you can see like this beautiful destination, right? And so you're like dancing and twirling towards it, right? Just enjoying the journey. And now the weeds have grown and I don't see the green grass. I don't see that destination that you were dancing towards, enjoying life towards. I'm hearing enjoying life in a different way. So it's coming through like, it's not to say that you don't do fun things or any of that, but what it's saying as it relates to your spiritual path, like that hunger, that joy, that fulfillment, reconnecting to that space. Because the more you reconnect, the more you receive that's beneficial. And the more you receive that's beneficial, the easier it is for you to stay focused. Taking that first step back towards yourself. So I'm being told to flip the animal book for you and wherever I land to give you that message. And then to also pull a card for you from what is that? Work your light. Okay. So what would you like for Alatha to know? What animal would you like to use to bring a message to Alatha today? Where? Right here? Okay. Oh, look, they sit on the left and you have butterfly. It says element is air. Primary colors are all the colors of the rainbow. It says when butterfly appears, it means you need to add more fun into your life. It can indicate that you're becoming more popular, meeting new people, and embracing a lighter, more carefree attitude. Butterfly means it's time to embrace change, including changes to your way of thinking. It can help you become more spiritually minded. If you've been living a solitary life, come on out of your cocoon and show the world your beauty and light. Butterfly can mean it's time to add color to your life. If you've thought about taking up painting or another type of art, seeing butterfly means it's a good time to start a new artistic hobby. Butterfly represents letting go of the old and emerging from periods of transition as a new you. It assists when you are contemplating a major change in your life. Butterfly can guide you through the decision-making process and help you choose the right course of action. It can help you be more expressive with your emotions instead of keeping them locked inside. The cocoon you've created to hold them. Butterfly gives you more vitality and excitement. So as I was reading that, what Spirit just said was part of what created this stall for you was the writing, right? The writing. There's things that the writing brings up. And that was what created this stall. Originally, it wasn't felt, right? It wasn't originally felt, but the more that responsibility was placed on your shoulders, unconsciously, that's when the shutdown began. So it's time for you to work through that and trust that you're guided and supported and keep writing. And as you transition back into the soul family, like talking about what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, what you're going through, opening up, allowing yourself to feel it, but also expressing it. Because you have people that will hold space for you. I'm here. You have your guys too that are still cheering you on and protecting you. It's not your conscious mind that feels this fear that created the shutdown. It's the unconscious. It's time for you to continue with your forward movement, your forward, your forward action movement. And I heard lights, camera, action, cut. And you've taken a break, now regroup. Okay, now I'm being told to pull from this deck. Okay, this is for Alatha. What message do you have for Alatha, Spirit? That one? Okay. And when we do stop, I'm being told the bottom for you. So what message right there? Okay. Who or what is triggering you? So there you go. The mirror, who and what is triggering you. And that's what's triggering this, that whole thing, the writing. Also, as I'm receiving this, Spirit is saying mirror work is good for you. Like literally, specifically speaking to your inner child as it relates to this. I'm hearing this project, this task that your soul agreed to. And when you look at this picture, what is she looking at? She's looking at self, right? She's looking at self. So what I'm hearing is not only are there aspects of self that's triggering you, it's also a matter of seeing yourself for who you really are. I'm hearing smelling your roses, smelling the flowers. And I'm hearing popcorn, cotton candy, and candy corn. Okay, I'm being told that's just about inner child. And what I'm being told to tell you is do things now that you weren't able to do during a period of your childhood, right? Things that you would have liked to do that you weren't able to do. Allow yourself to do them now, right? Sometimes we jump straight into adulthood, or we miss certain periods and then we jump into the next period, but we never go back to experience that period. And Spirit is saying allow yourself to experience things that you missed during certain periods of your childhood. Okay, and I'm told that is all. That is your message. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Let me know how it resonates. Let's see what you're saying. See, a lot that said, I swear people think I am so strong. I strive to be, however, I'm not in a lot of areas. It's because people see your soul. Like your soul is, right? Your soul is. It's your human self that you're connecting to by saying that. But what I and others see and feel, it's your soul, right? That's why we see that. That's why we know that you're strong, and as you were writing that, the feeling that's coming through is the strong one doesn't always get the support and the nurturing, right? That the obvious weaker one would receive, right? So this is another thing why it's important to have that space held, right? A place where you can feel. Now, even if you don't come back to activating you, but connecting, right? Where you can feel safe to be vulnerable and safe to not always be that strongest or stronger one or strong one, right? This will give you time and space for your soul to merge into your human, and then that strength that everyone else feels, right? That everyone else feels. Because here's the thing, although your soul family may see you as strong because of the deep connection to spirit, when you're not feeling strong, right? And when you give permission for us to tap into your energy, we'll feel that. And spirit will guide us on how to hold space. So it's important. Also, in your day-to-day life, it's important for you to be able to say, hey, today I could use a little shoulder to lean on, right? Today I could use you to push up and let me dump, right? So, it's also about being vocal, understanding you don't have to take on the role that you've been given, which is always being the strong one, the support system. So, Mashawn said, I just asked him, is he on as Aberdis because the Zulu thing smacked me in the face? He said no, but he was about to send me something about Zulu. That's awesome. A lot the sit in butterflies. Mashawn said rebirth and transmutation. Hi, Allie. Welcome. And you know what, you guys? I didn't say this, but Allie reminded me. I don't know if Natalie is still on, but check out both their channels, Natalie and Allie's channel. They're both amazing. And those of you that know Natalie know that, but I don't know how many of you have experienced Allie, but she's amazing too. So Alice. I'm calling her Allie because of the other Allie that was on. Alice. She said, hello, my love. You are my beautiful sister. Are you still taking readings? Just jumped on. Yes, I am. And thank you. Mashawn said, I love it a lot. The Latha said, I understand about the book. Okay. Alada said, regroup. Yes, I actually have been feeling this. It's definitely time to regroup and get it together. And the thing I'm being told to tell you is it's not that it's not together. I'm hearing it's not that it's fallen apart, right? Part of the feeling of falling apart is you coming together, right? It is you coming together. It's all a part of your soul's evolution and growth, a part of the journey. So, you know, I'm hearing being gentle on yourself as you are experiencing this phase of your journey. Why? Because as you serve, there may be people that you serve that start their journey and they fall off, right? And then you're going to be able to guide them and explain to them from a place of understanding and knowing, right? So this is all a part of it. So Spirit is saying, just flow with it. Now you know, and like they say, when you know better, you do better. So now that you know, do it, do it and look at it like that. Like, just do it. It's simple. No biggie. Okay. I took a little break and I'm back. Guess who's back? Like, so yeah. Allie said, yes, the roses. Why do I keep saying Allie? Alice said, yes, the roses. Phyllis said, yes. Oh, Phyllis didn't say anything. Phyllis retracted her message. Let's see, a lot to say. Yeah, I get that. The strong one never get help. Mashawn said, being the strong one was always a battle for me, but I've learned to be vulnerable. Yes. And that is that right there, right? That right there. When we can learn to be vulnerable, then we open ourselves up to receive more because we kind of take on the role that we are placed in. And you're placed in that role because your soul is strong, but it's like, maybe my soul is strong, but sometimes my flesh don't feel too strong. This human self don't feel too strong. So Spirit is saying that vulnerable piece, we take on the role of being strong, and then people perceive us as that, even when we don't feel it. So yes, yes, yes. Hi, Karen. Welcome. I believe this is your first time. Thank you for being here. And thank you so much, Alice. Thank you. Karen said, are you only doing paid readings? I'm new here. Yes. So we do every Wednesday. We do Wednesday Live and Power Hour. We go live at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time and 1:30 p.m. Eastern. So I deliver general messages for the collective first, and then I go into the mini readings. So we are in the paid mini readings phase of our Empower Hours. So if you'd like to receive the free readings, then I would say watch the replay. But if you'd like to receive a mini reading that's personal to you, they're $20, and you can use Cashapp or PayPal to receive one. And you can ask one question or ask for a general. And I will share the Cash App link with you. Awesome. Albert just said all of my questions that I have forgotten about and wasn't sure of were answered. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. Don't you love when that happens? I love when that happens. Alice said, Allie, for Alice Clarity. My grandmother always called me Allie, so it was very special to me. Okay. Because I'm like, why am I calling you Allie? Like, I always call you Alice. And today it's like Allie. So awesome. I'm grateful. General, okay, awesome. Mashawn said, I love that, Allie. That's her coming through. Yeah, because I'm like, why am I never, ever. Like last week. You see, Cheryl, I haven't called you anybody else's name this week. Spirit was like, we're just going to keep doing it until she asks why she's doing it so we can send the message. But I will tell you, I believe I shared this before, how I used to tease my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, that she had 5 boys, and she would sit there and she'd go through all their names, right? And then she'd even call me boy, and I'd just be sitting there looking at her like this. And then when she called me boy, I'd be like, it's Keela, Momo, it's Keela. And so now I find myself calling my boys each other's names, or I'll be talking to my mom and I'll be like, naming all these things before I finally get to, and I always, that's what I get for teasing Momo. That's what I get. So, yeah. Okay, so I am disconnecting from Alatha's energy, and I'm connecting to Alice energy. So I'm being told to tell you, release all fear that you have centered around this new transitional period. You are doing good by simply being. You are doing good by allowing your magic to come to the forefront. Incorporating more magic, teaching people, teaching others how to incorporate their magic is valuable. And as you're teaching this, it's not about magic from a book. It's about your soul's magic, your deep-rooted ancestral magic, which is why your grandmother's name for you is coming through. Connecting deep to your ancestors, allowing them to guide you, and then teaching others their magic based on how you're guided to teach them. Everyone's magic is unique. And the most powerful magic is the magic that comes from the heart and comes from the soul, not from a book. So allow yourself to go deeper into magic, deeper into your spell work. Make sure there are no spells that you do that take away free will. And you will continue to be guided into abundance. Also, you have the energy of a healer, allowing all the energy of the ancient healers to fill your soul and allow them to work through you. So what you're being called to do is be a vessel, even deeper of a vessel. There's so much work that they didn't get to finish. Allow them to finish through you. Make sure you're taking all the precautions to protect yourself. Make sure you're doing all the work to heal yourself. Make sure that you're not open for any portals that bring forth havoc, damage, wreckage. Make sure you are clearing your space, cleansing your soul, and cleansing the energy of others around you as they enter into your space, and cleanse the energy when they leave. Allow yourself to disconnect from society. Allow yourself to connect with your soul deeper than ever before. And allow yourself to resist changing of habits as it relates to what your soul knows. You may be tempted by the popular demand, but don't fall victim to that. Allow your soul to be your guide. What you're here to do doesn't look like anything anyone else is doing. You are special, you are unique. Tap into your uniqueness and allow your soul to shine. And in that song, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. That's what's planned. I'm being told to tell you also breathe, Allie. You haven't been breathing deep enough. Allow yourself to breathe deeper. Cleanse your heart from heartache. Because your soul is requiring every ounce of your energy. Also allow yourself to move with the winds of life. Allow your life to be the blueprint for those you serve. Showing how magic doesn't have to belong to a coven. Magic doesn't have to be manipulative or evil. Show them how beautiful magic can be. I literally heard, because your soul is so blessing. Your soul is so blessing. That's literally how they said it. And when they can connect with you, they know that there's nothing evil about it. So you're here to serve many purposes on many levels. But first, it requires you to release fear. You've been down and out a little bit. And I heard, why is that? And then I heard, lift yourself up. Ask yourself, why are you afraid? I'm hearing, why are you and why do you doubt? Why aren't you moving? I'm hearing to this and through this with excitement and joy. The trusting, the only trusting that comes from a freedom of lack. Why are you waiting? Why are you procrastinating? Why have you not jumped on that horse and rode off in the sunset? You have so much that you agreed to do this time and such little time to do it. So, yes, you were pushed out of your comfort zone. Yes, you were made to answer the call because you told us to do it. So, now that we've done it, fly, soar, be free to explore all the things that are stored, locked, caged in your soul. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. All the answers are within. You have every step, every potion, every guidance, every spell, every insight, every bit of knowledge. It's all there. Access it. Also, get into Akashic readings. It's time for you to access those. It's time for you to share those. It's time for you to help others understand how their past affects their future, how their future affects their past. It's time for you to see things from a multi-dimensional point of view, help others to do the same. People are so one-sided, so caught in ego, so caught in fear. Fear is a killer amongst many. It's time for you to help. I'm hearing both erase, release, and eradicate fear. I'm hearing you've been in slow motion. It's time for you to pick up the pace. Time for you to go. Ready, set, go. I'm hearing it's not a race. It's just more done this time. That's what you said. I'm choosing to do more this time. You said so with such eagerness. I'm choosing to do more this time. Now it's time. We're proud of you either way, but it's time for you to do what you agreed to do. Because we said, nope, that position is filled. Hallie's got it. So now do the work. There were others, I'm hearing, signing up, ready, and eager. But we knew they couldn't do the job like you. So here you are. Here you go. Look deep within and see you. Fearless, strong, confident, sure, powerful you. High Priestess energy doesn't even express. Not when you have gathered the souls of all your souls into one. Do that. Call on all your souls that you've ever been of highest light and love and have them pour into this one vessel that you are today. And this is where you will receive guidance. This is where you will receive strength, conviction, dedication, forward movement, and power. You have never failed and you are not failing now. Get on that horse and gallop away. Okay, do you understand what we're saying? We know you do, but confirmation is necessary to seal the deal. We're going over this one more time because you forgot, but now you remember. So now we're just waiting on you. We're here to guide and assist in any way we can. Just call on us. Different ways of calling on us. Remember how you used to connect before and connect that way, your way, the original way. Not the way you've seen or been taught, the way your soul guides you to do. Okay. So I received, okay, that is all. Now pull a card. And I'm being told to pull from the Ganesh deck for you. Okay, what message? That one? Okay. Ah, look at that. Wholeness. wholeness. And I'm just receiving, there's so much God force energy in this, right? And look, just pure love and power, pure love and power, pure love and power. Giving and receiving from your heart is what I'm receiving. And also look up the number 6. Spirit saying, even if you're familiar, look it up. There's a whole nother message there for you. And look, this one came in upside down. Spirit says, show you the bottom, but it's courage. So just having the courage to be your full self, stepping out and being your full self, your full self. That's what's being called for now. Is there anything else? Okay, they said, nope, that's it. So that is your message, my beautiful sister. Thank you for allowing me to serve you and let me know how it resonates. Let's see what you're saying. Thank you, Pat. You too. Okay, let's see. I'll see you on the other side, Pat. Alice said, yes, it is. LOL. Absolutely. They have been guiding me, not from a book. Oh, Pat said, gotta get off now. I set a good example for my son. Alice said, oh, wow, healing is big. Yes, clearing my sacred space. Michonne said, bye, Pat. See you later. Sandra said, hello, everyone. Hello, Sandra. Alice said, I sent the other day this little light of mine. Oh, well, they heard you. Michonne said, gotta run. Thanks for serving us, Nahkila. Love and light, everyone. You're so welcome. Thank you, Michonne. Alice said, right, magic is beautiful. I said, bye, Michonne, big head. I love to call everybody big head. I can't wait to see Alata's head in person to see just how big hers is. Ali said, OMG, I'm so emotional right now. Yes, yes, beautiful. Another reading, please. When will I move into my new home? Okay. Ali said, power is love. 6 is my favorite number, always in my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are so welcome. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm not even disconnected from your energy, but a lot with you, I heard 6 months to a year. So I'm going to disconnect because as I'm saying 6 months to a year, there's a few things that are coming through. So let's disconnect from Allie's energy and let's connect to Alata's energy. I heard, yes, 6 months to a year. Tell her, yes, 6 months to a year. I'm hearing buy a home after you've gone down there and explored, after you've gotten familiar with the area, after you've decided what you like, after you've decided to be a more increase. Okay. So I'm hearing you can move sooner, but 6 months to a year is when you'll be ready to buy a home. I heard granted. You get your abundant energy. Okay, what about just moving, period? I'm hearing she can move in 3 months for just a moving, period. But I'm being told, but tell her to give it at least that 3 months. Don't move any sooner than that. Now is not the time. Give everything a chance to die down. And as it's coming through, as giving everything a chance to die down, it's not like coming through in the sense like you're being affected directly. It's more or less like people, you are not going to receive the best of the energy of others if it's sooner, right? And it's coming through more or less like being shown around or viewing places, or you know what I mean? And then also what's coming through is the energy that you're feeling from people. It's going to be different than the energy that you'd feel once they feel comfortable. And then as I was receiving this, I'm like, well, Spirit, couldn't she just ask you? And Spirit was like, of course. But I heard we said what we said, and I said what I said. Okay. So I'm hearing 3 months energetically. Spirit is saying also begin sending energy to the location to prepare it for you and your energy, preparing it for shift, your shift. You also have more work to do where you are. More of you to give as you go into giving of self. So is it more to give to others, or is she called to give more to herself? More to herself first, and then it will overflow. So if you are in your flow of self-love and self-care, what's going to happen is you're going to make choices that put you in more lessons. And this is meant to be your fresh start, moving out of lessons to blessings. And then Spirit is coming through saying, of course, that doesn't mean that the lessons stop, but you're moving into a new period. And part of this move is a part of that fresh start, right? And then when you get there, you'll experience new lessons. But no more lessons from past are meant to go with you. Get over that hump first. 3 months. And then I heard social anxiety. What's that all about? I heard when the move is made, get out there and socialize. And then I heard speed dating. I don't know why you keep getting the message of dating, but it comes through for you quite a bit. I'm hearing learning to have fun with the dating scene. That's why. It's not meant to be serious, not speed dating. But you don't know what the soul knows or what Spirit has in store. That's what they said, and that's how they said it. And they're kind of like, yeah, because when her soul is ready, we'll be ready to serve her dish hot. Dessert and the main course. How often have you allowed yourself to have fun with dating? Like really fun. No responsibility or expectation of planning the future. The only expectation is the expectation of fun. Give yourself that. That's a gift in itself. By doing this, you'll be more open to true love finding you. Get excited about your move. Visualize where you'd like to be, what you like it to look like, what experiences you'd like to have, and also how you're going to connect deeper to Spirit. Allow yourself to flow in the wind of change. Be excited about travel. Because once you get settled, traveling to different communities, serving, speaking, teaching women will be good for you and them. It gives you that deeper sense of purpose. When you can see the light switch go off in their eyes after hearing your story, feeling motivated, it'll make a world of difference. And you'll never feel lost, stuck, or stagnant in your journey again. Once you get that feeling that living your purpose creates, I just heard it's on and popping. And I asked, was there anything else? They said, nope, that is all. So that is what I received from you, Alatha. Let me know how that resonates and when you were intending to move, if you already had an intention. And thank you. Thank you again. So there's still 8 people on. Who's on with this still? Who's still on with this? Oh, and you guys, I ate before I got on today. You know, usually I don't eat before. I ate light though. I don't know. It just seems I don't know. I've just always chosen to either not eat or to eat light when I'm going to be serving. Awesome. Tia Lynn's still here. Looking at online interior designs. Awesome. Jalessa is here. Hi, Jalessa. Welcome and thank you for being here. Aberdis said, me, I'm at work listening in. Roz is still here. Allie's still here. Thank you all for still being here. So yeah, I just saw, I'm like, there's 8 people on, but I've only seen a few people on. Sandra's here. Yeah, Allie said I do the same. I eat afterwards. It keeps me light. Yeah, it just has always felt better, you know? And then it's funny too, because it never fails. Whenever we're doing our breathing, it's like I always feel like burping during our breathing. It's the weirdest thing ever. And when we're doing the breathing in the beginning, I always feel like burping. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah. Is there anyone else on who would like a mini reading, or did anyone else pay for one that I missed? Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. I just heard Spirit said, go be great. Do what you must. Go be great. And for those of you that have been called to have an altar, like specifically grandparents are coming through. For those of you that have been feeling like, oh, I'm gonna set up an altar, Spirit is saying, do it. Now, this isn't necessarily for everyone. It's just for whoever has been thinking about it. Spirit, one that's specifically dedicated to your grandparents. Ooh, Spirit is saying, do it. It's not to say that if you haven't thought about it, you can't, but that message was specific for whomever has thought about it but hasn't done it yet. I'm being told to tell you, make sure you cleanse it often and connect to their energy often. They're here guiding you, but to receive that deeper connection will be great. Okay. Oh, and thank you so much, Arborist. I noticed that you sent 22 as opposed to 20. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. So yeah. Let's see. Allie said the breathing is the breathing is deep. My grandmother's that's not breathing, right? Breasting is deep. My grandmothers were best friends since youth. Oh wow. That's awesome. A lot of grandmothers compete for the attention and affection of the grandchild. Spirit just said there's so much power amongst you all. Just think what happens when you gather together to serve. That's how new worlds are brought forth. Understand your strength, understand your power. United in numbers, united in energy, united in love, united in light. You are not on this journey alone. You are special and you are chosen and you are surrounded by so many souls that are supporting you, your growth, your development, your service, your insight, your voice, your talents, your gifts. I'm hearing give them away, but save some for self. And don't be afraid to do that exchange. Energy, balance, even exchange of energy. I'm hearing you have waited far too long to step in this role. So live it. And now what I'm being told to do is the animal for us as a collective. So to just breathing. Okay, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was, but then I was like, wait, maybe that's not. Maybe it's something else. Maybe something came through. Okay, so tell me when to stop. This is for us as a collective, wherever we end up. For us, where? Right there? Which one? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to read this because this is different. It's not an animal. What it says is visualization in a natural setting. Taking the time to commune with nature is a great way to connect to energy animals. For this exercise, find a place outside where you'll be uninterrupted and where you'd expect to encounter animals. Take a seat on the ground, maybe even lean up against a tree trunk and wait. Feel the energy of the place. Is the wind blowing? What emotions are you feeling? Notice any animals that find their way into the area. Do they stop to look at you? Feel your spiritual essence, your frequency build up around your heart and then reach it out into the center of the area. Now wait. Do you feel any animal energy connecting with yours? When you do, feel the connection, the emotions of the animal. Look at the pictures it sends to you. And most of all, thank the animal for sharing its energy with you on the level of the divine. Gently pull your frequency back inside, knowing that you now share part of this animal's frequency within your spiritual being. Just as the animal you connected with now carries part of you with its frequency. So as I was receiving this, Spirit was saying that we can also do this with nature. So like with trees, with flowers, with the sea, right? Lakes, rivers, the ocean, the earth. So Spirit is saying when we go out in nature, utilizing this exercise and doing it not just with animals, but different aspects and components of nature. And, I used to, I believe, I was sharing this with someone. Okay, I know who it was. I was sharing it with someone, and I was sharing how I used to carry like a little baggie of cornmeal in my console in the car because I would always give offerings. Like if I connected with the tree and decided to use the tree to release. And then I realized, our sacred water, spit is sacred. So you can also do the offering with your sacred waters, your spit, to show gratitude for, nature just lending its energy, So if you don't have anything like cornmeal or nuts or anything like that, then you can always just spit and show gratitude in that way. But whenever we're doing anything like that, dealing with the animals or with nature or Mother Earth, it's important that we do offer that exchange of energy that Spirit is saying. So we offer an offering of gratitude. So, did you not get your second reading? Because that was done. Your second reading was done. So Yeah. Yeah. It's been so windy here today. Okay. So Spirit is saying, after this, if no one else is getting a mini read, Spirit says, time to wrap up. Oh, I know why. Because tomorrow is my last day before my sabbatical, and I have a few things to do to prepare for that. So I'm like, oh, okay, Spirit. So yeah, so I'm gonna ask the question one more time. Is there anyone else on who would like a mini read? And if not, then we will wrap up. So you all know the sabbatical starts on the 1st, which means for Wednesday I won't be on for Empower Hour. But what my intention is to record a message for you and have it play at 1:30 Eastern time, so that you'll still have, messages from Spirit at that time. It just won't be live, and we won't be doing the mini readings. But the following week we'll definitely come back. So okay, let's see. I know, and I sent it. That's why I was saying you didn't get your second reading, Alaka, because I did it. No wonder when I asked you to let me know, you didn't answer the question. Okay. So yeah, it's your second reading was done too. It was done too. So so yeah, fast forward to there so you can receive the full message. What time frame were you thinking of moving? That was my question after I received your message. You're so welcome. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, Jalessa. And then after you send it, let me know if you would like a general or if you have a specific question. My lips feel all dry. Thank you, Cheryl. I love you too. And thank you for hanging in there with us today. Okay, well, listen to your message. Listen to your message. Okay, awesome. Yeah, listen to your message. Also, there's all of the generals are posted except for one. So that'll all be done also before my sabbatical. Okay. 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 Alana said, I'll go back and listen. I really chose to be in when you did it in case I had a question or didn't understand. Um, and everything that happens serves your highest good. The message came through pretty clear. And although it was a question that required like literally a single answer, it was deeper than that. Um, so yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Alatha. I appreciate you too. I really do. And I appreciate your faith in my ability to serve you. Allie said, I have a dream to share. It was storming outside here. As I slept, I dreamt I was calling out to the storm. Don't know why. Never seen this done But when I awoke, I was like, wait, that was real. So you know what's so amazing today when I did my healing, and now it's raining here. It's raining here now. But when I did my healing session with Jillian, I decided to do it outside because it was warm out, but the wind was so aggressive, so much so I usually keep the curtains open, and it literally closed this curtain. That's how aggressive it was. It knocked over a picture. It kept opening the door, and so when I was out there, it was a little tougher for me to like really just zone out like I usually do. And so I was like, okay, spirit, calm it down, calm the wind down, and then it literally calmed down, and it calmed down throughout the end. And so when I was telling Jillian about the wind, the aggressiveness of the wind, it being difficult to really zone out like I usually do, she's like, I wonder if that's why the wild woman showed up. But also me incorporating the elements, right? And so I'm sharing this because as you said that, it was the same coming through, like incorporating the elements, and also understanding like the power that we have, but it's not so much that we are powerful over the elements. It's just that they're willing to work with us. And it reminds me of when I drove down to support a friend who was speaking at a conference in Atlanta after I moved here, and it said it was sunny, right? It was hot, but it was going to rain, and I had no idea what that meant. So I'm driving home, and it was so bad, I literally could not see. I could not see. I was on the freeway, and I literally stopped, and I was like, okay, Spirit, if you like me to do this work that you calling for me to do, it's going to require me making it home alive, lighten it up. And my mom was on the phone, and the whole time I'm like, okay, Spirit, lighten it up if you like. And it happened. So it's not so much like we have power over the elements. It's just the elements are more than willing to work with us and help us to serve and serve us like everything else that's created, right? So Spirit is saying for us to keep that in mind, the elements are more than willing to work with us. And they, like our guides, will do what we ask when it serves our highest good or the greater good or I'm hearing a higher purpose, right? Not for selfish reasons, though. And Spirit said that's important to know. And that not for selfish reason was not for one of us, or it was for all of us, right? So, yeah. Spirit calming the winds is a gift and a power, and you all possess the same gifts. They're just executed in different ways. So don't be afraid to tap in and explore your powers. And as I'm saying that, I'm feeling like, ooh, goodness. Okay, it feels like sharp in my back. And what that's coming through as, that don't be afraid, right? There were times where we explored our powers and we were not just stabbed in the back, like figuratively, but literally killed, stabbed in the back. Some of us experienced a stabbing in the back. I'm hearing that brought us to our knees, for some brought us to our death. So there's that fear of really exploring and escaping the hold that society has placed on us, which disconnects us from our power. So don't be afraid to explore your powers, to activate them, to utilize them, to embrace them. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, okay. Expand. Can I expand what, wait. Well, so yes, I know everything that happens serves my highest good. Yeah. Thunderstorms and lightning. I have been working with the elements. It's been strong in the readings. I'm hearing they also have messages for you. Next time, listen to the storm. Receive the message. Mother Earth speaks in many different ways, and this is one of them. Yeah. A lot that said, I like that. The elements are more than willing to help us. Yeah. Yeah. And as I was receiving that to give to you all, that was new for me too. Like, and I didn't think about it as like, oh, I'm controlling the wind. I didn't think about it like that. But I also didn't think about it like the elements are more than willing to help us either. I just thought I'm asking spirit to calm it down, and spirit did. That's all I thought, you know? And it's a trip because, wow, like it's really coming down. I know if I show you guys, you're not going to be able to see it from the camera, but it's like amazing. It just feels really good. So, anyways, okay, so I am going to disconnect from a lot this energy. A lot this that I'm running into the store, but leaving you on. Man, I love these lives. That reminds me of partially what came through in your first message too. Ross said, I just figured out how to share with you on Cashapp. You are so appreciated. Oh, thank you so much, Ross. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. I am now connecting to Jalessa's energy. Jalessa would like to know about relationship. I have been feeling a disconnect, and I feel like the spirit is trying to tell me something or steer me in another direction. The first thing I received was trust your instincts, but learn your lessons. Okay. What I just heard was you have entered into a relationship prematurely, so now it's time for you to grow. It's coming through more of entering into relationships prematurely, is more of like a pattern, right? Not really waiting for the one because of settling. And how it's coming through is it's like, okay, so they have this quality and they don't do this. They could be doing this, but since they do this, then it's okay. I'm going to go ahead because this is a good thing, right? As opposed to looking at those things that I'm hearing are being discounted or accepted, right? I'm hearing don't settle in relationships of any kind. Because even if you look at friendships, you've also been doing the same thing. And this started way back when you were a kid. You have a tendency to make excuses for people. It's time for you to stop. And I'm hearing as this time for you to stop came through, what I heard was, but you don't make excuses for you. And then spirit said, it's time for you to stop. And then came through, hold people to the same standards that you hold yourself to. You wouldn't look at yourself and say, oh, it's okay that I'm not thriving here because I'm thriving here. You are now being called to create what it is you're selecting and not settle for anything less. Spirit will let you know when it's time. Your inner promptings are guiding you. I'm hearing into choices and decisions. What you do with the guidance is up to you. But the first step is to trust the guidance you receive. Your inner knowing is that doubt because it's not fear. You're more than willing to love. So if you're having a doubt, you are being steered, I'm hearing, in the next direction, the opposite direction, the new direction. Also, when you end a cycle, make sure you don't jump into another one. Give yourself time and space to breathe and grow. When you continue to jump and hop, you miss lessons. It's an easy way to ease the pain in the short term, but in the long term, it does more damage than good. I'm hearing you've also got to start seeing yourself as the divine sees you. You are so beautiful, but you don't see it. You have so much to offer, but you don't feel it. You often feel like they're doing you a favor when they show love. And you repay them by showing more love. Always a competition of loving them more. But when you find the one, you'll be in competition with loving each other more. Now the competition of love is to be with self. How can you guide you more? How can you love you more? How can you be more true to you? Heal your heart. There's places in your heart that have yet to heal because you've never taken the time to do so. And I'm feeling like this sharp pain in my heart chakra. Lots of past disappointments. I'm being told to tell you, find out, what did I learn from that? And it's literally coming through like you asking yourself the question. So when Spirit is saying like you don't give yourself an opportunity to process, to learn. So what Spirit is having you do is to really take time and go through past experiences, right? And really ask, what did I learn from that? And get a journal out, like write the name down or the relationship down. What did I learn from that? What was my lesson with that? You know, each time, what was my lesson with that? Even if you feel you know, don't leave anyone out, right? And as you receive your lessons, see either the common ground of the lessons or how they relate or build on each other, right? What I'm receiving is some of your lessons are going to be the same, right? And the reason is because you didn't learn them. So you keep repeating the cycle, and this will help you to break free of the cycle that continues to be, I'm hearing, repeated. Some of it is learned behavior, but some of it is behavior you took on as a result of experiences. I'm hearing it's now time for you to take self-inventory and hold yourself accountable. You're deserving of love. And on a soul level, you're ready for love. But on this human realm, you still have some work to do. And it doesn't take long. It doesn't have to take long. It's just all up to you and how quick you learn the lesson. Being able to be still, be at peace with self, and I heard be at peace with one being you. This is when you are truly ready for love. And India Ari is singing. First she was singing, I am ready for love. Then she started singing, I am light. And that's what she's still singing. So what Spirit is saying is for you to focus on that light within, right? Allow that light to shine independently of a significant other. And that light will be so bright that your soulmate, your twin soul, will spot it from miles away, eons away, and will come running. Right now, you're just attracting lessons. And although they serve a purpose, you can end that now. Okay. So I'm being told to pull a card for you from, hey, some of these cards are, oh, wow, okay, we're just going to leave them. They're like some, see how they are? Like they're all kind of facing in front. What message do you have for listeners? That one? Okay. Oh, both? All right. So you have the ever unfolding rose. It says cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So with your past experiences, Spirit is telling you to look at it as the growth agent that it is, right? It's happening for you, not to you. Any past pains that you've experienced, understand it happened to grow you. And look at that rose, right? Look at that rose. Roses have thorns, right? But that doesn't take away from their beauty. That doesn't take away from their essence, right? It doesn't take away from what it represents, right? You are like a rose. You have thorns, but you are so beautiful. Now it's time for you to remove those thorns and just bask in your beauty, the glow of your beauty. And that glow stems from within and it shines out. And then you also have inner temple, and this one came in reverse. And it says devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. So the reason why this is coming in reverse is because Spirit is saying it's time for you to spend more time cleansing, healing, and loving you, right? Your heart is calling out for a good cleansing, a good release, a good cry. Heal you. And don't expect more from others than what you're willing to give to self. Understand you attract what you are, not what you say. You attract what you are, not what you say you are, not what you say you like to receive, but what you are. So shift your frequency, and the frequency of love that you attract will shift. Okay. And I asked, was that it? And I was told yes. So that is your message. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. And please let me know how it resonates. Let's see. Allie said, I so appreciate you, my love. Thank you for agreeing to serve. Humbled by the messages you release, not only to myself, but for the messages released to those who are open to receive. Thank you so much. Thank you. And Ross said, you are so welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Allie said, you are so very powerful. Thank you. We are truly blessed. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. Allie said, you're blessed to have someone blessed salt around you with some sage, peppercorn, and knees crushed bay leaf when you go into meditation as you ask. Thank you for sharing that. Allie said it will help clear your mind and energy to hear, see, and feel clearer. Yeah, and so it is. Jalessa said, wow, India.Arie is my favorite artist. Those are two of my favorite songs. Awesome. Allie said roses, pink roses, Lady Nada. Allie said the pink rose of Lady Nada. Look her up, Jalessa. She will walk you through holding your heart in the center of the rose. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. So yeah. So Roz, were you doing a reading today, or was that a donation that you sent? I always ask because I don't like to assume that I don't like to assume. So let me know. Let me know. Jalessa said, thank you. I have entered into relationships prematurely. I have been with my husband since I was 16. I am now 32. That makes sense. That makes sense. And oftentimes, when we grow, not oftentimes, every time, we're either growing together or we're growing apart. It just depends on where you are in your journey. But whatever you ultimately decide, what Spirit is saying is that it's time for you to pour into you. And I'm being told to read the T message again. It says you must have self-respect. Only then can you respect somebody. So it doesn't surprise me why Spirit is bringing that up. It's just really pointing back to what we give to self is what we receive, right? What we give to self is what we receive. And also what we give to self is what we're able to give. And it didn't originally come through like that because when we look at us being connected, right? What I give to me, I naturally give to you because I see us as being connected. I see me as being an extension of the divine, and I see you as being an extension of the divine. So I see us as one, right? So, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Ross said it's a donation. Just wanted to thank you for your forgiving of yourself. Thank you. Thank you. And Jalessa said, thank you, Alice. I'm going to say the whole thing. Alice Clarity 7887. So yeah, thank you all so much. Well, I am going to end our Empower Hour. Every time I say that, it makes me chuckle because my son's like, it is never an hour. I'm like, Empower Hour is the mini readings. It's not. So I know it. Every single time I say that, I always think of when he said that. So anyways, but thank you all so much for allowing me to serve you. I appreciate you so much. And if you ever feel led to leave a review, I do have the Spiritual Awakening page with Nahkila Isha on Facebook. So if you ever feel led to do so, you can leave a review there based on the readings that you receive here. And if not, that's okay too. But I appreciate you either way. I thank you so much. And I leave you with peace, love, bliss, and abundance. Have a wonderful day. And oh my goodness, I'll see you in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. Okay, I'll see you then.